wintry mix to the north. Showers likely with a low of 34. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
We are the home of green and gold off-season coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky, it might be almost to the point of Ruth?
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee at the 3rd Street Market Hall.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tosh.
It's Wilde and Touch, isn't it?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
He is Mark Tausch. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm with Jesse on this. Groundhog Day, we disagree vehemently. Groundhog Day is dumb.
He loves it. You don't.
I think he loves it for now. I think he's going to come around as he ages and matures. No, you will.
I'm 34.
Jimmy really nailed it this year.
It doesn't matter.
Jimmy did nail it this year,
What
by
do you
the
mean
way.
We got a 26-inch snowstorm.
Yeah, within the 6-week period.
Jimmy's full of blank.
He didn't say winter ends today. He said 6 more weeks. We got 6 more weeks. Now look at it. Beautiful.
It's 30 degrees.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Okay. So we disagree on that. April Fool's is dumb. And it's gotten dumber with the internet and with the misinformation age is what we're in. We're already, I'll look at something and I'll say, was this AI generated? Is this full of baloney? Who's the source? All this other stuff. And now you add another layer to it. April Fool's was fun when it was, some fun pranks. I don't want to be all fuddy-duddy, but April Fool's needs to go to way at a white buffalo. And I know there's been some genetic improvements in order to bring back the white buffalo and or the woolly mammoth. I'm not interested. I want this dead. I want to kill it. I want it over. It should be done. Could I be more clear?
You could not be more clear. I'm told that our show is better when we disagree, but I am totally Team Tausch on this. It was fun when, the Badger Herald would put a story out that U2 was coming to play Camp Randall.
Didn't they? And they ended up coming.
And then they ended up coming several years later, yes.
So, and I think I'm not going to give out free advertising, even though they serve custard. But I think this is something for companies to throw out trial balloons like Mark Murphy used to do.
Oh, the curd burger is what you're talking about, isn't it?
I'm not gonna give anything for free, but yes.
There's no partner attached.
I didn't say specifically who that was.
Come on, dude. You know what that was.
Well, I know,
but I legit
think, anywhere.
And then people looked at it and said, that actually sounds really good. And now when they do it in their limited run, it's like a madhouse to go get one. So those things are cute and fun, but you can do that on April 15th. Do it on tax day. So I get it, but I think that this has run its course. Even though I'll give my boy Wise credit, he has done the best April Fool's joke ever on me. I've told this story many times, but not everybody listens every day, so I'll tell it again. But I had just finished playing, or I was just retired by the NFL, probably in 2011. I think he gave it a year. I think it was 2012 or 2013.
Okay.
And the old Versus channel, do you remember the old Versus?
I do, yeah.
Love that channel.
They had a Pros versus Joes. And that wily son of a gun had figured out, hey, old T is, trying to figure out where he should go with his life post-NFL career. He calls up and he said, hey, my buddy is a producer for Pros versus Joes. Are you interested in jumping in and being one of the pros? And I said, well, what does that entail? So I started asking a lot of questions. He led me down the path long enough that I don't know if I recall committing to going on Pros versus Joes.
Oh my
God. Then he hammered me with the April Fools after about 3 or 4 phone calls. So kudos to my boy Wisey on getting me on that, because he definitely got me, and it was as good. And I have not been able to recreate and or do anything better than that. So other than that, everything else has been pretty dumb. So Eleanor and I last night were trying to figure out a way to get Max before we went to school this morning. And I just was thinking now, I want to have some fun with it, but there was nothing. I don't know what a good prank is anymore. So that is mine. That was 15 years ago now, so I'm done with it. But that was the best prank that I've been pulled on. Jesse, everybody always picks on you. There's got to be something.
The problem is, even with yours, April Fool's Day is just a bunch of people lying to each other all the time. This day has been. Are you familiar with the movie The Purge? The Purge franchise?
No.
It's like a horror series where there's this society in the future where one day of the year, there are no rules, and everybody can go around and steal and murder.
Oh, you can murder anybody.
Stuff. Yeah, on one day of the year, and it reduces crime for every other day of the year because the one day everything's
preemptive strikes.
Sure. That's what April Fool's Day feels like it has become in the misinformation age, where everybody can just talk
Do you have somebody on your list if you had a purge day that you'd want to?
No. I knew from the minute you said that that was going to be the follow-up question.
No, I do not. No.
Really?
No.
I would have bet that they're. You don't have to tell on air, but I got to
say their name.
You're pushing me towards an answer, but not yet.
You're talking about me?
That was a good line.
You talking about me?
Whoa, Nelly!
Wait, Have you seen these movies? Have you watched them?
I've seen one of them, and then they've done a bunch of it's almost like the Saw franchise now, where there's like 100 different ones of them. I saw the first one.
Seems kind of sick.
It is. Yeah, it's not fun. But what April Fool's Day has become is just every sports team, every media outlet,
April Fool's
no, but you just get to. You just get to throw out, this is going to happen. There's 364 days of the year. We go to the Steiner School of Sports Communication at Bradley University and the J School at UW-Madison. They teach you all about journalistic integrity and getting the facts right and not misleading people. And then one day they're like, what the heck? Let's just say they're making a candy hot dog at American Family Field. And let's just say the Mallards are changing their name. And let's just do this. And let's just do that. And people just throw all this crap out there. And it's not funny because everybody knows it's fake. It's stupid. I hate it.
Okay. I like you're taking a strong stance. That's good.
Jesse, I did have a different holiday question for you that I was thinking about while Tausch was telling that amazing Wisey story. So you are anti-April Fool's Day, but you are very much pro Groundhog Day.
That is correct.
Which Tausch and I disagree with you on. And you are a Sun Prairie resident, and Jimmy the Groundhog is a Sun Prairie resident as well. Are you secretly angling to eventually become the grand poobah, the grand marshal of that event, and wear your tuxedo and your top hat and have Jimmy whisper in your ear? Because that could be a great April Fool's announcement, but it could also be the aforementioned burger with the cheese curd on it that could come to fruition.
Oh, you stole my punchline. Hey, actually, that just came. I have big news today. I'm going to be the Groundhog Day moderator in 2027.
You can't take part in a holiday that you hate. You can't do that.
April Fools. Just kidding. Yeah, I'd love to be the guy that runs Groundhog Day with the top hat and hand it off to the mayor. Yeah, that's like a dream job right there. I want to be the voice of Groundhog Day in downtown Sun Prairie, the groundhog capital of the world.
That's your dream job.
And on the other 364 days, be Matt LeBay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see a path.
Yow. All right.
Good luck. All right, so I don't know. We didn't spend a ton of time on this yesterday, and judging from the reaction to me posting my story on various social media channels, the loud, not tiny minority, like the 30% club that doesn't want Matt LaFleur as the Packers head coach, of which Josh DiMaggio and John Anderson, I believe, are members. They didn't really like what Ed Policy said at the NFL meetings in Arizona on Monday evening to Domofsky and Hodkowitz and Schneidman and that crew, that Matt LaFleur is the best guy for the job. They disagree, kind of like we disagree with Jesse on Groundhog Day. So I want to get into that, and I also want to get into, with Bryan Bulaga coming up, if he was ever disgruntled with his role and what he did about it, because that still is resonating with Packers fans. My question for you, Tausch, is do we feel good about just the general, not the roster, not guys coming back from injury, because there are some strong opinions among the people, especially about the coach still. Do we feel good about the state of the Packers? You and I?
July 4th? Isn't that what you do with Strofe? The state
We do that at Summerfest, yeah, around the 4th of July.
Yeah, I mean, I feel fine about them. I don't feel excited as much as, and I'm not downtrodden. I think it's exactly what I thought they were going to do. There have been no moves outside of picking up trading for the 30-year-old linebacker. That is surprising. They believe that with everybody healthy, they are a championship team. And without, they're not. And what they've done this offseason tells me they believe that, like a lot of us, had things went differently in Denver, this whole narrative this offseason would be a lot different. Mm-hmm. And when you invest and do what the Green Bay Packers did last year, you knew this offseason was going to have to be more limited because you spent everything. You spent all your capital late August last year to make a move, and it was 100% the right move to do. And you unfortunately had things not work out, and now you have to piece and do some different things and worry about the compensatory pick equation and all of the things that Brian Gutekunst has done. But as we sit here right now with guys that are not healthy and able to play, this team, if they had to suit up a game on April Fools, they're not winning the division with where they're at. That's just not. If all of these guys aren't available to them, they're not going to win the division. But when everybody is back, I certainly hope that is not that would be flipped and we would all feel a whole heck of a lot different. So where's the state of the Packers? They're good, not great. And with the injuries that are out, I would say they're average. That's how I would view this roster with everybody that would not be available if the season started today.
All right, I want to get into what Ed Policy had to say for those that did not catch it. I will get into that after Tausch tells us about something that's not good but is great. Great. And that's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
If you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, I don't know what the heck you've been doing. Now is the time because Pella of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest financing all the way to 2030. 0% interest all the way till 2030 in Wisconsin. Your home will take a beating year-round. The right windows and doors, they improve comfort, they boost your energy efficiency, and they upgrade your home's look. Pella's experts will help you find the perfect fit for your home, and they'll do it within your budget. You pay 0 interest all the way till 2030. You can upgrade now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to get started.
Ed Policy thinks he's got the right coach. Many fans disagree. He heard you. He just didn't agree with you. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch, 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
Your brand doesn't need more square footage.
It needs more wow.
When you work with Captivate Exhibits, trade show booths become magnets. Lobbies become living stories. Break rooms become culture builders.
Captivate creates experiences people don't just see, they feel.
For more than 30 years, their award-winning team has transformed big ideas into bold brand moments that command attention and drive results.
Stop blending in.
Start captivating.
Visit CaptivateExhibits.com.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at discount liquor.
Easter's almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Easter dinner can turn a meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Check out all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com. Happy Easter.
Discount Liquor.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-581-1414. That's 800-581-1414. 800-581-1414.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Ed Policy speaking at the NFL meetings, saying he was a little bit shocked by questions during the season about Matt LaFleur's job being in jeopardy, and that he had decided to extend LaFleur's contract well before the Packers' playoff loss to the Bears. I've always believed that you don't make football decisions out of emotion, he said. You have to be methodical about it. I don't believe in making emotional decisions based on one game or a series of games. Tausch, I agree with him. And I didn't think Matt LaFleur should be fired. I thought he might be, not knowing how Ed Policy viewed things. But now that we know that he doesn't make emotional decisions like some team owners might, now it makes sense that he kept him. But just bringing this up to start the show, the YouTube comments, very lively.
Yeah, they should be. And I thought the second part of what you read there is totally sensible. Like, you don't make decisions based on that. You look at the track records, you understand the trajectory, and I don't have a problem with it. I didn't think even after the Bears game they should fire Matt LaFleur. I thought emotionally, obviously, there's a lot of angst because the way the season ended, you didn't win a game. To say he was shocked that people thought that way is really surprising to me. Like I said yesterday on KBN, I was shocked that he wasn't shocked.
He said during the he's now I think this has gotten and tell me if this changes your view at all, but as I understand it, he said he was a little bit shocked. This is according to Wes Hodkowitz's post on Packers.com. The question to which he said he was a little bit shocked was about him, about questions about LaFleur's job status during the season.
Well, that's different. I looked at it more from he was shocked about the postseason, and the last 5 weeks, and all that you shouldn't be shocked at all. Like that was a complete meltdown,
exasperating. Yep.
So, yeah, when we were 9-3-1, there ain't anybody sitting there saying I don't think there was a ton of calling for Matt LaFleur at that point. There's always going to be fans that aren't big fans of what he does and how he operates and game management and all of those things, but the end of the season. And by the way, if he felt that way, why didn't he extend him midseason?
Yeah, great, fair, super fair question.
I don't know why you drag that out. Obviously, contracts take a while to figure out, but they knew that. They know the numbers. And did we ever get an announcement because we're so happy to keep these guys on how many years and what the?
Nope.
That's absurd. Like I still think that whole thing is just crazy to me. This is a publicly owned football team. It's not as if you're creating some big advantage where we don't know. What do we don't know? Just tell us. Like it's not that big a deal. We signed him to a 4-year extension. You want to get into numbers? Great. I understand that. Right. Nobody if I ask you what you're making, you're not going to tell me. And Jesse, I think, would tell us. That's fine. But I don't understand that part of it. But from Ed Policy's standpoint of being surprised in that. If it is indeed that he was talking about the regular season up until even at the end of it, when you lose that Bears game and you end up going into the 7th seed again, the regular season wasn't great last year, guys. It wasn't great.
No,
it started off and it was in a good place. I mean, after 2 weeks, hey, color me in, man. I was all in on this as a dynamite team because that was as impressive of a start to the season as I've seen in Green Bay in a long time. And as things go, obviously there's ebbs and flows. But even like the loss against Cleveland, okay, you understand. Special team stinks, and it's going to cost you a game. We kind of thought that was going to happen. Looking at the big picture of it, you get into Denver 9-3-1. You win that game, you win the division. You're probably a 2 seed scraping to battle for the 1. That's a whole different animal than being a 7 seed getting into the playoffs and then getting knocked out. It just is. And for Ed Policy, I don't care when he was making those comments, he believes in Matt LaFleur. That's great. But there was angst. And Matt LaFleur was feeling angst.
No doubt.
And I don't know why you want people that you respect, and why do you want them to have angst? If that's how you felt the whole time, I don't understand. Why do you want them to feel angst?
Fair question. The second half of that Chicago playoff game was very disappointing. We were all extremely frustrated. I know the fans are frustrated, and I wouldn't want them not to be frustrated. They're very passionate about our team, about our games, and about the outcome of our games. I wouldn't change that, and I did hear quite a bit of it. But I can't let that factor into these types of decisions. Ultimately, does it impact me? Yes. Do I hear it? Yes.
How does it impact him?
I don't know. But these are not decisions that should necessarily be made by fans after a very disappointing
Yeah, of course they
loss.
shouldn't be. But you just said, well, how is it impacting you? And my question is, what are we doing differently? That's what fans want to know. All this other stuff is great. I don't disagree with a lot of what Mr. Policy had to say there. I totally agree with probably 85 or 90% of his things. But it had an impact on me. Okay, how?
He felt bad.
Good follow-up.
No. How? And then what are you going to do about it? Because if we end up as a 7 seed again and get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, and if it's to the Bears or the Vikings or the Lions, oh, God. I'm telling you this year, we need to win the blanking division. Period, fin. If we don't win the division this year, I think you have to really start looking at what are we doing? Now, it's going to be tough. The division, the Vikings will be better with Kyler Murray than they were with J.J. McCarthy last year. The Lions, I believe, are going to be better. They're going to, if they can stay healthy. They have their core. They have things that they need to replace, but I think the Lions have been built the right way, and they have a core of players, while they're getting older, still are in their prime. And the Bears are the Bears. But this team, with the resources and what they've done and the continuity that we've kept, they need to win the division, period, fin. I'm not saying they need to be Super Bowl champs, but this team and this organization needs a division championship.
So let me give you 2 scenarios, one about last season and one about this season, and then we'll get to Brian and we'll talk more about this. For last season, let's say they don't have Micah Parsons go down in Denver. Let's say they win that game. Let's say, like you said...
What do you think the season... what does it look like if we don't pick up Micah?
Oh, great question. Well, I mean, Rashawn Gary's not disgruntled with his role.
Do you think we end up in the same place? 9-8-1, whatever we ended up, 9-7-1. Like, are we 9-7-1 if we don't pick up Micah, or are we worse?
I think they end up a game or 2 worse.
Great question, and I agree with Jesse. I think they're
so we don't make the playoff if they don't pick up Micah, because he closed out the Cardinal game. Obviously, Detroit we had in hand, but that was a closeout. That was you'd put up enter Sand. How many Sandman games did he have?
Yeah, well, 3 or 4, I think.
So we are probably looking. You're telling me
Detroit in Detroit, he closed that out, right?
You're telling
Weren't they
me,
close the goal line?
Yeah, they made the big fourth down play is what kind of closed that up. But yeah, there's plays. You're telling me we aren't a playoff team, and so if I'm reading with what you've said, Matt LaFleur ain't the coach of the Green Bay Packers if they don't pick up Micah Parsons. Is that what you're telling me?
That's a really good point. I didn't think of it in these terms. So they finished now. I mean, I would assume they're playing the Vikings game, which I know you appreciated my in-depth
that was
coverage
as good
of.
Coverage as we've seen around here for a long time.
Outstanding coverage.
Some of the most in-depth analysis we've ever seen.
So they're playing that game differently than they did in real life. So maybe they still win that game and they go 9-8-1 the other direction. But no, it's a really very fair question, and I had not thought of it.
So Brian
in those terms.
Gutekunst, in essence, saved Matt LaFleur's job.
Again,
that's what you guys are saying.
Yeah. On the flip side,
I think we're still 9-7-1. I don't know if Micah Parsons' trade. Because you factor in he missed 5 or 6 weeks, I don't know if we would have adjusted and won a few of those. I think it would have balanced out more than you guys do. But we ain't winning the division.
No, you're right about that. Again, I do get frustrated. So Goody saved Matt LaFleur's job by trading for Micah Parsons, but had he not traded for Micah Parsons, he didn't build a playoff team's roster, potentially?
Oh, he's probably saved his own job, too.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just give you these hypotheticals briefly so we can get to Brian. 1, they win the division last year, and they lose a first-round playoff game at home. So they end up reaching the exact same endpoint of their playoff run, losing in the first round.
Let's say San Fran comes into Lambeau and beats us. Okay.
Sure. How are we viewing Matt LaFleur?
Incredibly disappointed.
Disappointed, but we're not calling for his job, are we? Or are we?
Right now, Matt LaFleur, he is, and I hate to give Homer credit on this, but he is in the Steve Mariucci, good regular season, can't get over the hump, postseason coach. That's where he's at. That's his. That's what he's been monikered with. So this is now, he isn't, just like in the Bucks when they were in their heyday, which obviously is not where they're at now.
Hey, big win last night. Come on.
They actually lost by winning.
Doc's a Hall of Famer.
Kudos to Doc. I think when you start looking at it, you got to win a postseason game. That's what this is about. And for Matt LaFleur now winning regular season, you need to position yourself so that it's easier to win a postseason game. That's more in line with where I think he needs to start thinking. But just going and winning the division, if we end up as the 2 seed next season and go out and have a home playoff game and we lose to whomever, this conversation is going to get ratcheted up another tenfold.
Okay, so
because then it's a home game.
So now let me flip that. Let's say they finish as the 7 seed once again. But they win but then they win 2 road playoff games and then lose the NFC Championship game.
All's good with that.
Then we're fine that they didn't win the division, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like what we talked about with Badger basketball. Great season for the men. Great performances in the NCAA tournament or in the Big Ten tournament. Lose their NCAA tournament opener. Nobody gives a damn what they did. Right? I mean, they were 3-1 against the 2 conference teams that are in the Final Four. Does anyone care?
No.
So again, it's what you said. Was it before the 24 season? I just want to get to the playoffs and see what they do. That's really all that matters. And I think that's, again, all that matters. Now, if they win the division, to your point, they increase their chances of playoff success. But people are going to be pissed if they win the division and then lose a home playoff game.
Heavy is the crown. When you are the head football coach for Titletown, USA, it ain't good enough just to win somewhat in the regular season.
No.
And what we've seen the last three, I get the first year I thought was fantastic.
Right. Who thought they were going to even make the playoffs necessarily?
I did, but I actually predicted that almost exactly. But that I did not have them beating Dallas. This is the time now where you have to elevate and take it to the next step. You have the personnel, at least you believe that, when everybody's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That needle that he's got to thread here is going to be tricky because I don't think his depth. Again, you have a draft. We don't know how good his draft's going to be. But right now, as we sit here, this team is not as deep as it was last year.
No, you're right. All right, we need to get to Bryan Bulaga so he's not disgruntled with his role on the show. So I want to remind you that you don't need to hop on a plane or board a cruise ship to feel like you've escaped. Your next getaway is waiting in Milwaukee at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. Biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites that are perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big, and you're just steps away from everything that's happening inside. And if you're hungry, you've got so many options. Premium steaks at Dream Dance Steakhouse, pizza, burritos, quick bites at the marketplace, rock and brews for that high-energy vibe. Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, Cream City Coffee Company. The list goes on and on. And, of course, if you're planning a wedding, a birthday, or an anniversary, they've got the event spaces that are built to make it unforgettable. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place. Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Bryan Bulaga joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This summer, celebrate 250 years of America with flavors that feel like home. Carbless is bringing the nostalgia with the new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety Pack, featuring strawberry, cherry, grape, and apple. It's inspired by the classic tastes of American summers. Backyard games, family cookouts, fireworks, and the classic summer flavor in every can. So raise a can to summer, to America, and to the moments that bring us all together. The new Americana Backyard Bliss 8-pack from Carbless. Pick up your brand new variety pack at your local retailer or go to drinkcarbless.com to find it near you.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Now through April 5th, when you spend $50, you get 30% off, and you get 2 free pair of socks with the code SOCKS2. That's socks and the number 2. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Hey fans, John Kuhn here, team captain of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and there's a reason it's considered the Midwest premier place to bet on all your favorite sports. The full bar, awesome dining, 2,000 square foot screen, and nearly 100 betting kiosks makes for an unbeatable playbook. Bet above the rest, only at Potawatomi Sportsbook in Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian,
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Us now on the Yuengling guest hotline. Yuengling now finally at long last in Wisconsin. The first brewery in America now is in Wisconsin. 6 generations owned and operated by family. Yuengling, DG Yuengling and Sons. Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Is Bryan Bulaga, and I have only one question for Bryan Bulaga, and that is this. Are you disgruntled with your role on the show? Because I need you to communicate that with us, and we need to figure out, how to make sure you're happy, because I don't want to be having it take a toll on our program the way disgruntled players took a toll on the Packers last season.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly content, just like I was when I played. I knew my role. I knew what I had to come in and do week in and week out. Besides deal with Jesse, that's the only side thing that I didn't really have to focus on too much when I was playing. Sometimes it was Bakhtiari because sometimes Dave acted like a child, and you had to deal with Dave in a certain way, but that was fun. Sometimes dealing with Jesse isn't fun. Tell
me about it.
And Dave was just a big kid, and he wanted good energy. Jesse sometimes brings a lot of negative energy. So that would be the only.
That's true. That is true.
That would be the only thing, if I'm going to talk about disgruntled on the program, that I would.
Tough one for your Hawkeyes there on Saturday night, huh? They were close.
Yeah.
They were close. That's too bad.
Tough getting to the Elite Eight. I know. I believe me. I know it's tough getting there. You should know that too, Jesse.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Very tough getting there.
That Kansas job opens up. Watch out for that guy to bolt.
This one exactly the way I expected it to. I'm thrilled with how Brian handled it. But Brian, serious question. What do you make of that? You just said it, right? I'm sure there was a time that maybe, that whole year where you were supposed to be the left tackle and then you tore your ACL on family night. You probably would have liked the opportunity to be the left tackle, but you said you knew your role and you accepted it and you worked your ass off in it. What do you make of this part of one of the many interesting things that came out of the time in Phoenix at the NFL meetings?
Yeah, I think when those grades came out, this is kind of what I assumed it was along the lines of something like this, right? Guys voted a certain way because they got told something or they weren't getting what they wanted or whatever it may be. And then it comes out that it's the roles. Guys were upset in their roles, which blows my mind because, guys may want more targets or something like that, but then to make an issue about it in the locker room and have it affect the team, that's a problem. Like, I don't ever remember that being a problem when I played. Now, maybe it was when I was really young and I didn't know any better, right? Like, it was way over my head. But as I got older, that I never recall that being an issue. And if it was, it normally got stomped out pretty quick by veteran guys. Normally didn't last too long, and you'd be publicly berated in the locker room by somebody, or that'd be behind closed doors.
Who did more?
One or the other.
Brian, who did most of the public berating?
I mean, guys were very vocal.
Yeah.
The guys were vocal.
City.
I think we know the guys that were vocal.
TJ.
Yeah. I think we know the guys that were vocal. Okay. I don't have to say their names.
Sure.
But it got, we'll just say it got put to bed really quick. It never got to a point where it would affect the locker room and how the performances were, right? So that even goes deeper, right? Like that, like when you hear it affected the performances, that means guys were on the field, as we could say, half-assing it. And if they didn't get the role that they wanted, that's what that says to me, which is a massive problem. Like, that's a big deal. So I'm hoping that the guys maybe that he's referring to are no longer there, or if they are there, that is a warning shot that will not be tolerated going forward. Because what Matt said was perfect. If you want a bigger role, you got to carve it out for yourself. Like, you have to earn that. You have to earn that. You just don't get given a bigger role because you requested it. Like, there has to be a body of work that shows you have earned that, right? And there's always, and I said this to Homer, I go, there's always a tier system in the NFL. Everyone's on a tier, right?
The Jesse Nelson-ification of the NFL, tiering it out. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is in the locker room, right? Everyone is assigned to a tier, right? Top tier guys are your Micah Parsons, Jordan Loves. They're top tier. That's how it's always going to be. But then below that, there's structure to the team, and you have to accept your role within that structure and perform at the best of your ability. And if you outperform and you perform really well, guess what? You'll most likely get more responsibility and move up tiers, and that normally comes with the money you make and things like that. So to just request things and then be unhappy about it and cause a fuss in the locker room, to me, it's crazy. It's unacceptable.
So, Blue, I mentioned, and we did a little draft after we heard this clip from LaFleur of who the most disgruntled Packers of last season were. And I took Matthew Golden first. And then I saw Jesse took Dontavion Wicks. And that receiver room, listen, man, we all know in the locker room in the NFL, receivers are probably the trickiest group to manage. O-line, we're going to fall in line most of the time. We're going to do our job. Obviously, I put Jordan Morgan on there, too, because I think he's probably really frustrated with how he was bounced around. But receivers are, because it's so tangible, they see how many catches they get, how many targets they get. They hear about it. They know that's how they get paid. It is tricky, and it's really tricky when you don't have a Devontae or a Jordy or a Cobb leading the room. Who's it on to get that room right? Is that because I said now that Jordan Love is continuing to evolve, he needs to – we didn't see that. We had your crew with Jordy and Cobber and James Jones and, for me, it was Greg Jennings, his driver. There were guys that weren't happy with how many touches they got, but it was kept under wraps because the quarterback helped keep it under wraps, or they helped kind of I think Jordan Love needs to elevate there and probably help nip this, because I'm certain that the receiver room is part of what Matt LaFleur is talking about.
If I had to take a guess, I would imagine the receiver room probably is part of it. And and you hit the nail on the head, but that's what happens when you don't define roles to start and you say everyone's a number one. That's kind of the way it goes. We don't have a number one here. Well, guess what? Like, there is a number one. There has to be a number one. That's how every roster is. There is a number one wide receiver in that group, and he's going to get the best looks. That's just the way it goes. So for me, I think Jordan Love, that is, not Jordan Morgan or any other Jordans on the team. I don't know. But I think he's got to be the one that steps up and kind of maybe for Matt helps define those roles, right? Like helps guys understand where they are in the pecking order. Like this is the way it's going to go. Like clearly our number one wide receiver is Watson. He's the number one wide receiver. Like I don't think anyone's questioning that. So if we go into training camp this year and we still hear the same, we don't have a number one, well, that's going against everything that was just said, that we need to define roles more clearly then. Because to me, if the room is an issue, roles need to be defined in OTAs. And yes, you can outperform that in training camp and you can move up. There's no doubt. Absolutely. All for it. Love it. Competition is great. But you just don't, because you're there for 3 years, I should be the number one now. No, it's not really the way that works. I mean, Tay was under Jordy for how long before Tay became the number one? But Tay earned that. That became earned from Devontae. That wasn't just given to Devontae. I'm sure Devontae would have loved to be the certain receiver in certain route trees that Jordy was when Tay was younger. I'm sure he would have loved it. But guess what? It's not the way that operates. It's not the way that works. So to me, that's probably a room. I would assume that maybe Rashawn was upset. If I'm taking a wild stab at something, right? Micah comes in. Micah gets probably a lot of the preferred rush packages or certain responsibilities and things like that. Maybe that is part of it, right? Like, and I guess obviously he's not there anymore. Clearly, obviously there was financials involved in that. That wasn't just, the financials fit and we just let him go. There was money things with that, but and listen. I understand the wide receiver room and how complicated it is because, like you said, there is statistical evidence to it. It's how many targets, how many catches, how many yards, touchdown. I get all that. But there has to be a number one, a number two, and a number three. It just has to be that way. That's the way it goes, right? You can't have a room full of guys thinking they're the number one guy. And it just – because I like, listen, and a perfect example is that you look at the two guys in Cincinnati, right? Both very, very well paid, very good wide receivers. But I can almost assure you Higgins is not thinking that he's the number one over Chase. There's just no way that thought process – is happening in that room. Now, does he think he could be a number one anywhere he goes? Yeah, of course. And he probably would be. But in that room, he's not. And, that's kind of the way I feel like this Packers wide receiver room needs to start looking at things. And I think Jordan Love can help that. I think it would take one time him going into that room in OTAs or whatever and just talking. And literally setting the standard right away and getting that out of the way early and just nipping it in the butt.
We'll have more with Bryan Bulaga after Tausch. And are you going to let Brian pick the caller?
Yeah, I always do.
Oh, no.
Yeah. How much work and how miserable do you want Jesse to be? We're giving away an awesome
476.
We're giving away an awesome Iron Jock hoodie, so it's this is big time. So, Brian, what number would you like for Jesse to have to answer from a phone call?
What was the last
101?
That he had to take?
I think we did 101.
85 was yesterday.
85
was yesterday.
Yep.
85 was yesterday. Iowa hadn't been to the Sweet 16 since when?
Before I was born.
Well,
no. What year?
Oh,
was it 87?
Yeah, so we're going to do caller 87.
Oh, that's very nice. That's nice of Brian.
Could have been worse.
So
caller 87 to win an Iron Jock hoodie at 844-770-3776. And as a former athlete, I've worn just about every kind of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel, built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you work, from the gym to the pickleball court. Iron Jock will keep you dry, comfortable, and confident through April 5th. When you spend $50, you get 30% off, and we're going to give you 2 free pair of socks with the code SOCKS2. That's SOCKS and the number 2. Iron Jock will help you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com. And again, caller 87 to win an Iron Jock hoodie at 844-770-3776.
We'll give away that hoodie and spend more time with Brian next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. National Player of the Year.
Left hand, and the game is tied. Kids magical.
Wisconsin legend.
Dump it inside. Dump back in. It's Kaminsky.
Frank Kaminsky joins KBN.
Who was your favorite teammate of all time?
See, it's a baiting question because you want me to say you.
On the Yuengling Legends Line.
No, I'm not.
What?
No, it's not. It's not me.
You were annoying to play with.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. Now available in Wisconsin. D.G. Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
The Island Resort and Casino welcomes you to another unforgettable golf season at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Beginning in July, Stay and Play guests can preview the brand new 9-hole Cedar course, inspired by the golden age of golf. At the island, your golf trip becomes a full resort experience with relaxing spa treatments and exceptional dining to thrilling casino action. Courses open May 1st. Plan your golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
2026 Brewers Group tickets are on sale now, and planning your next event at American Family Field has never been easier. Whether it's a company outing, family reunion, or night out with friends, bring your group of 15 or more to the ballpark and enjoy up to 25% off single game tickets with no service fees. All Brewers home games are available now. Start planning today, and a Brewers Group ticket rep will handle the rest. But hurry, tickets are moving fast. Plan your 2026 outing at brewers.com/groups.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Josh DiMaggio here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been on this journey since January and already lost 30 pounds. It's been easy, safe, and their team continue to help me reach my goals. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. And for a limited time, get $200 off the spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary. Remember how you felt when you were 25? Your morning workouts were a breeze. You had a drive that kicked in way before your first cup of coffee. Does it feel like you're losing your edge? You know, it might not be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Mentality, we'll get to the bottom of what's really going on and build a personalized plan using testosterone replacement and peptide therapies to help restore your energy, focus, and drive. Get back to being the guy you used to be. Book your appointment with Mentality at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Continuing with Bryan Bulaga. While at the NFL meetings in Arizona, Brian Gutekunst said he is excited for Jordan Morgan's opportunity. And quite frankly, his first couple years in the league, we had to move him around and do what's best for the team. Probably not what was best for him. Tausch, as you often say, no blank blank.
Yeah, that was, I thought, very interesting that Goody acknowledged that. And now it comes down to, is Jordan Morgan going to be good enough out at left tackle? And they don't know. So, Blue, I guess, you were bounced around a little bit in the beginning, and then was there a conversation that you had that they were like, you want to play guard, or what's like? How did it end up where you were just like, I'm only playing tackle?
Wasn't the conversation you suck as a guard?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was much of a conversation. They put me there as a rookie, and I stunk. So, I think that was the conversation that I think they probably had that upstairs after watching the tape of it. Like, oh boy, this is probably not going to work at guard. Probably not a good fit out in the middle there. So. No conversation. I didn't have that conversation. That's for sure. They asked me to go do it. I did it. Didn't go well. Didn't look good. Didn't feel good. And right back out to tackle.
So, and I just wonder, that's the, when Goody said that about Jordan Morgan and doing what was good for the team and everything else, but that's what we're talking about when it comes to roles and understanding it. You have to have guys that are bought in, and it's really hard as young players that are trying to earn that second contract to buy in and be selfless, because young players are selfish. And you start figuring that out when you get older, and you realize winning is really hard, and everybody has to be going in the same direction. And hopefully Jordan Morgan is going to be in that position that he'll, thrive and go out and play left tackle and be great, but it does suck for him that the first couple of years have played out the way that they have for him.
Yeah, because what it does is it rattles confidence, man. And you hear a lot of noise. You hear a lot of, you're this, you're a first-round pick, you haven't lived up to this and that, and you see your performances on tape. Right? Like, it's not like you're blind to it. You see that you're not performing at a standard that you feel like you should be. And then you're not in a position that you are preferred or that you would prefer, right? I mean, listen, right tackle, left tackle. I mean, I was a left tackle. I got moved to right tackle. It took me some time to get adjusted to it. It wasn't easy. So, I mean, definitely wasn't easy. First game against Arakpo, and then Cameron Wake, who just always ate my lunch for the first 5 years of my career. For some reason, I couldn't stop the guy. I don't know why. He's really good though. But
Canadian. He's a Canadian football player, right? Wasn't he? He came from the CFL.
Yeah, he was really good. Really good. Finally was able to not give up a sack to him, I think, in 2016 or
It's nice when those
like
guys it's nice when players get older and are a little slower and maybe not quite as explosive.
Well, I mean, so many times you get beat by the same move. It's like, eventually I got to figure this out. I got to figure something out here because this is just ridiculous. But regardless, it rattles your confidence as a young player if you're getting played out of position and it's not going well. And obviously then you get kicked to another position that you definitely think you don't fit in, and that doesn't go well, right? So then you're thinking in your head, like, all right, so like, where do I fit in this thing? Like, can I do this? Am I going to be able to live up to the expectation? And that's what he has to now overcome, right? Now that he's getting moved to his preferred position, and we don't know how that's going to go. We're going to find out, but that's what he has to kind of figure out himself.
So does that mean that experience, no matter where it comes, is not necessarily good with him? First of all, I'm sure when you arrived as the 20-something overall pick, I'm sure you felt the same way as he did when he walked in, right? I want to be a left tackle. You may not have said those words out loud the way he has on multiple occasions, but that's what you wanted. You didn't get what you wanted. You didn't, right? And the times that there might have been windows for you to move to left tackle, either you got hurt or there was the 11 season where you didn't have Tausch anymore. They needed you at right tackle, and then when Cliffy went down, it was Marshall Newhouse that played there, right? So you don't always get what you want, as the Rolling Stones once sang. My question is, if I always thought, hey, if I get experience, whatever it is, wherever it is, it's going to make me more prepared for whatever the opportunity is. And it sounds to me, and tell me if I'm reading this wrong, but maybe there was some detriment to the experience he got because now his confidence might be dinged. Or does he go to his position and say, all right, that is past his prologue. I'm a left tackle now. I'm going to be fine.
Well, I hope that's the mentality that he takes, which you just said. I hope that's the way he goes about this season, and that would be really positive for him if he just kind of, you can't forget about what had happened the last few seasons. Like, you can't just completely wash it out because you do have to learn from those experiences. But like, I'll just be honest, like, you're not taking anything out of playing guard for how many games and translating that over to left tackle. Like, you're not getting anything from that.
Okay.
I can assure you.
Yeah, those positions couldn't be more different. Like, I know people think, you're an O-lineman. Everything inside happens lightning quick. Boom, boom. You got to be boom, boom.
Yep.
Whereas tackle, you have to be an athlete. You have to respond. And like, it is playing two different games. Go ahead, Blue.
Yeah. So, like, to say that everything he's experienced is a negative and, like, won't benefit him, I'm not completely on that, because you do have to learn from certain things. Like, he did play some snaps at right tackle, and they're different sides of the ball, but listen, you're playing tackle. Like, the same move will beat you on the right side as it'll beat you on the left side if you continue to do the same things and have the same patterns as a tackle, right? If you're setting like junk and dropping your right leg or your left leg at left tackle, you're going to get beat by the same thing. If you can't anchor against power at right tackle, not sure how that's going to work at left tackle. So, like, there's things he has to learn from these negative experiences, but it shouldn't. At least for me, he can't dwell on what has happened the last few years. He's got to take kind of what you mentioned, Jason, move on, learn from it, and then essentially start over. Start over from left tackle and get your mind right and ready to go for that.
Well, speaking of starting over, Matt LaFleur essentially saying that they're going to kind of start over on offense. I'm going to defer to you two. Help me understand this, because he's going into year 8, and I know that they have different players. Every year there's a handful of guys. Lots of guys have different roles, some of which they're unhappy with. But how do you take this, both of you, this statement from the coach that they're basically going to treat this like year 1, even though it's year 8 and year 4 with your starting quarterback?
So I like it. And why I like it is because I think they need to go back to year 1, year 2, year 3 principles of this offense. I think that's the purest and best form of this offense. And I think since Aaron Jones and since Aaron Rodgers have left, I think the offense has, just as any coach would do, they have obviously changed the offense and have tweaked things and done things differently than what they did to start. And obviously you're trying to fit players and do what's best for them. But I feel like he's gotten away from the core of this offense that was installed week 1, year 1 when we were there, right? Like, and I said this to Homer too on Monday, he didn't come in and mold his offense to us. We had to mold to the offense. We had to change and adapt to what they were bringing in, right? It's not like he came and said, hey, guys, so, does this work for you? No, that's absolutely the complete opposite. It was, this is how it's going to be. You guys have to figure this out. And
unless Rodgers wants the audible. Yep.
Unless he cans the play. Unless there's a can. Then if there's a can, then yes, then the play has been changed. But I will say, year one of Aaron being in that offense, now he may say different, but I don't recall a bunch of times of him just going completely off script and changing things, because it was new for him as well. Yeah, that probably came year 2, year 3. That probably came year 2, year 3. But year one for him, he was still obviously learning this thing. I mean, he probably learned it faster than anybody, but all the checks in and out, what can we get to from this run play to another run play based on formations and rules and things like that. So, to me, when he said that, we're going to take it down to the studs, I love it, because I think that's going back to year one principles and the roots of Matt LaFleur's offense. So, I like it. And to be honest with you, I hope we get back to under center, wide stretch, play action. That's what this offense is built on. That is the whole principle of Matt LaFleur, Shanahan, McVay. That is what they do.
Can you do that with Josh Jacobs, though?
I believe so. I think Jacobs can
Why did they go away from it then? Because they did acquiesce to him.
Because I think they did what he's most comfortable with. And that's gun duo type runs and inside zone runs. And I understand you're trying to mold your offense to fit your personnel and things like that. But what I take from Matt is we're going to go back to making players fit our scheme. They're going to fit what we're doing, what we want to do.
Sounds like there would be a tailback that might be disgruntled if they do that.
I don't think that. I truly think that he can run that scheme. I really do. I think he's so good at putting his foot in the ground and getting north or cutting things back. He's very shifty. I don't think that's an issue for him. And as kind of as Matt said about Micah, about the 3-4 principles, good players or great players can do anything. That's the way I look at it. And to me, that's what Jacobs is. I think he's a great running back. So I think he will be able to do what is asked. And that's what fits the offense. You don't get easy play action, hole shots over the middle where tight ends and wide receivers are sitting in 10 yards of space unless you're running that type of scheme. And I've said this, I said it to Homer again, I'm going to repeat it because I truly believe it. You look at the Rams last year, their offensive line was solid, nothing special, right? It was not their offensive line isn't special. It's not one of the top units in the league by any stretch. But for some crazy reason, they were a great running team, and Stafford threw for 10,000 yards or whatever he threw for. That's because the principles have stayed the same. They run the same zone scheme. The play action game is on point. You get these, you get Puka and you get Tay and you get the tight end wide open in space, and that's all based off play action run game and how they do it. So to me, it's no different with Green Bay. I think all that opens back up if they go back to those principles that it started out with in year one.
Brian, we just appreciate that you're willing to take on whatever role we ask without being disgruntled. You're pretty much gruntled most of the time, and we appreciate that, buddy.
Yes, absolutely.
He gruntled me more than I gruntled him in the last 2 weeks. I can tell you that much.
A lot of gruntling between you two.
That's the nature of their relationship. I will save my Jordan Morgan short arms question for you, like I addressed with Joe Thomas when I talked to you on the Homer Hour a little bit later in the week. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
That is Bryan Bulaga, who is a good teammate and takes on his role without complaint. He joins us every Wednesday on the Yingling Guest Hotline. Tausch, the one thing he doesn't have that you and I have going for us, though, he's not a UW Credit Union member.
No, he is not. And for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach all of your financial goals. And if you got cheddar on your mind, UW Credit Union can help. No monthly fee checking and great rates that let you keep more of your cheese. Join today at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions to apply.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
3 people, 3 different kinds of joint pain, 1 decision to do something about it. The solution, not surgery. It was QC Kinetics Regenerative Treatments.
I wanted to use my own body to hopefully regenerate and get rid of that pain. So it's been 3 months and my back is significantly better.
The pain in my knees was pretty severe, so I came here, and even after the first treatment, I noticed an incredible difference. If you have pain in any part of your body, this is the place to go.
I couldn't go to the gym anymore, and I couldn't play with my grandkids. That's why I made the decision to come here to QC Kinetics, and it was the best decision that I ever made for my own health. This works. Don't do surgery.
Finally, relief for 3 real patients. Lives transformed through QC Kinetics non-surgical treatments. Your story could be next. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour Wilde and Tausch begins now. Thanks again to Bryan Bulaga. We always enjoy our Wednesdays with him. So, Tausch, are you Team Blue, that stripping it down, as Matt LaFleur put it, and treating it like year one is a good thing?
No.
Or are you not?
No, I said this yesterday. I think there's a part of it, if you get back to the basics, that's great. But I'm not interested in stripping it back down to the basics, as he put it, because I have a quarterback now that has 3 years of experience. Just like when Aaron Rodgers came over here, I wanted Matt LaFleur to implement his system, but I didn't want to say, I don't care what you've done over 15 years and what you've seen and what you've learned and what you understand, because Matt LaFleur is a first-time head coach. Here, he obviously knows what he wants, but if you're going to keep Josh Jacobs and you believe that Josh Jacobs' best ability is running duo, you can force him to run outside zone and all these other things, but you want to play to your players' strengths. You don't want to have a system that is so strict and rigid that you're only going to do what you do. I'm not interested in that. So I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but if it means get back to the basics and just the strict, I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. But if it means you're stripping down the playbook and you're just going to, I don't want to see that.
Do you agree with Brian that Josh Jacobs can be effective being used the way the system is supposed to use him, as opposed to using him the way that Matt LaFleur acquiesced to use him?
Yeah, that to me is such a big question because you have financial decisions to make with Josh. Everybody loves him. He's he's been very good since he's been signed here, especially his first year. Last year, obviously didn't go the way I think everybody hoped. So now you look at it and say, well, what can we do differently? How can we make him the weapon that he was as he's getting older? Those are questions that they have to figure out because I don't think Matt LaFleur wanted to go to a ton of gun, read option, whatever the duo block. I don't think that's something that would be a nice wrinkle. I don't think he wanted to go to the point where they're doing it as much as they were. I just don't think that's how he views things because he can argue with me and everybody else all he wants that the play-action pass game is just as effective. It's not. It's more effective when you can really run and have those guys selling the play fake and getting linebackers to suck up and getting that big hole in between the safety. That's what you're looking for. And his whole thing on marrying up plays, that matters. Kyle Shanahan and McVay, that's what this system is built on. And I do think we've gotten away from that. So how you go about getting back to at least utilizing that more, I'm all in on doing that. And that's that part of what Brian was saying I totally agree with. That is the core foundation of Matt LaFleur's offense. And I know Jordan busted his thumb up, and I know there was how much can you take under center, and there were a lot of questions. I don't know how much Jordan likes being under center. I know there's a lot of quarterbacks. It's a lot easier to play from gun.
Sure.
It's like would you rather walk 18 at a golf course or would you rather ride 18?
Yeah.
Like it's there's a lot of stress that
Great
goes,
analogy.
especially with the outside zone where you have to, as a quarterback, get the snap, get out, and sprint to that spot because you have to show the ball. You want everyone seeing it, and then you can bootleg out. You see them doing those drills all the time. There's a reason they do that because it works. And they've gotten away from that, so I want to see them get back into doing more of that.
Well, I am convinced of this, and tell me if you think I'm wrong. I think they're drafting Josh Jacobs' replacement on day 2. I think they're
I've said running back. There's going to be the kid from Notre Dame is going to go high. Running backs, they are viewed. You can get a good one late, and obviously Green Bay has done that. They did that with Aaron Jones. But having a dynamic home run hitting, what did every team do? Carolina came in and played 2 deep safety, and they dared people to run the football because even if, and this is no slight to Josh, even if he busts one, it's going to be 20, 25 yards. I know he maybe had one longer than that. You need somebody, a la what Seattle did. You want somebody that can hit a home run because you need to have the defense feel the pain, not, we'll give up. You don't think they'll give up a couple of 8 to 10 yard runs so that they don't let Christian Watson get over the top?
Right.
No doubt they're going to do that. And I don't know if right now with what they have in their running back room, they have that. Yeah, the kid from, where's he, USC, Marshawn Lloyd.
Yes.
If you're banking on Marshawn Lloyd to be a bell cow home run hitting running back for you, you're going to be disappointed.
Good luck.
Hopefully he can stay healthy and contribute and find a role. But they need to have a home run hitter back there. They need that. And that, by the way, will also help your offensive line a lot if you have an Ahman Green, if you have a Ryan Grant, if you have an Eddie Lacy. All of us that we looked at our O-lines as being pretty good, we're good because our quarterback was a stud and we had a stud tailback too. Those things go hand in hand.
Speaking of home runs, when it comes to finances, Mark Tauscher and Doc Jacobson are a home run combination for Annex Wealth Management.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. We got some fun stuff coming, and we have a date, April 14th after the show. I am actually going to do the show from Annex.
What?
I'm doing the show from Annex, and then we're doing some giveaways. We're giving away prizes. I'm not going to brag, and I know, Jesse, you got the golden geese or whatever you guys call it. We do trivia.
No.
I also like trivia.
What?
I don't know if I'd ever been a great contestant on Who It's About. I would have been. But if the question was about sports or potpourri, I'd be a great phone-a-friend candidate. And on April 14th, I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to jump into the financial literacy game, and I'm going to be able to hold my own. I'm challenging you to join and play along. It's a webinar called Beat Tausch at Financial Literacy. Register, and you can beat me as Annex will ask the questions. We're going to give away prizes. There's going to be some money, all the good stuff. And I intend to beat everybody who comes at me. You're going to learn more about financial literacy. It is Financial Literacy Month, so it's a win-win. Register today at events.annexwealth.com. Beat Tausch, April 14th. We're going to do that right after the show at noon on the 14th of April.
Jesse,
wait a minute.
like they do with golf tournaments.
You want to come down and be a caddy?
Are you taking Tausch or are you taking the field in this?
I want to recruit Tier 1 Tyler, and Jason could be an honorary goose, and we could team up to take you down.
I'm going to find out more about the prizes. I believe there's very good prizes.
Like, if we can win some cash, I think all of us could use some cash.
I will confirm next week, but probably what's today, Wednesday? I will confirm that there's going to be some cash. I know there's some pretty sweet prizes.
The Geese could come honking into this thing at noon on the 14th.
You got to feed the ducks.
Yeah.
As Jerry Jones says, feed them ducks.
That sounds like a great idea by the team at Annex Wealth Management. I'm taking the field, however. All right, Jesse wants to take a break from Packers talk because he thinks he's got a really smart view of a innovation in baseball that he doesn't think is getting enough attention, apparently. We'll see what he thinks next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. National Player of the Year.
And the game is tied. Kids magical.
Wisconsin legend.
Dump it inside. Dump back in. It's Kaminsky.
Frank Kaminsky joins KBN.
Who was your favorite teammate of all time?
See, it's a baiting question because you want me to say you.
On the Yingling Legends Line.
No, I'm not.
What?
No, it's not me.
You were annoying to play with.
Yingling, America's oldest brewery. Now available in Wisconsin. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
I'm not against shopping online. In fact, you can check out our huge selection at BurkhartSportingGoods.com. But when you're ready to buy, Burkhart should be your only stop. Because here, you can grab hold of the Midwest's largest selection of baseball bats, gloves, and equipment, and take all the swings you need in our indoor batting cages to make sure you buy the right bat. And when you buy your new mitt, we'll steam and custom fit it for you right on the spot. This is Brian Burkhart, and when you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhart. If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service, you can't beat Burkhart.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices One call, that's all.
Need a quick, delicious way to fuel your day? Try one of our new protein power plays from Cousin Subs. Power ham, power turkey, power club, power tuna. 4 craveable 5-inch subs on freshly baked Italian bread. Packed with protein, up to 33 grams. All for just $7.99 for a limited time. It's the flavor you love with the fuel you need. Grab a protein power play in store, online, or on the Cousin Subs app today. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
So Jesse Nelson has an unpopular opinion. There's something that's never been said on this show before. Jesse, you don't like baseball's new review system?
I'm getting tired of it. And I don't like what it's done.
Is that the old umpire in you?
No, I don't like what it's done to the game of baseball. Baseball, as long as it's been around, since the dawn of time, has not only been a game of sport, it's been
imperfection.
It's been a game of sociology. The interaction between pitcher and catcher, between teammates on the diamond unable to speak with one another, between managers in opposite dugouts, and of course the relationship for all of those people with the umpires officiating the game. The interaction of debating when something is a ball and a strike has always been a significant one. When do you choose to debate it? When do you choose to get in somebody's grill? When does a manager come out and argue balls and strikes and get thrown out to try and spark his team for a momentum shift in a game and in a season? And now we've taken out the personalization of those interactions to just do this. Tap on the head.
What are you talking about? I just saw a manager got thrown out handing out the lineup card.
Just tapping on the head.
No, he got thrown out handing a lineup card.
This is now how we express disagreement.
So you like when people go out and the Earl Weavers throwing bases and all that stuff?
Yes, it's part of the game. It's what makes the product entertaining and fun.
That's what makes the product entertaining
Partly,
and fun?
it is part of the game. It's part of the baseball experience. I've played the game. I've umpired the game. It's part of the game. Now, everything is computerized in black and white. There's two types of people in the world. There's the type of people when we're sitting up north who like to speculate about, I wonder when this lake came to be. I wonder what bird that is. I wonder what kind of tree that is and how old it is. And then there's the people who get out their phones and they just type it in and they look at it. Oh, it's probably about this old. We've lost the interpersonal nature of the game by just tapping on the head when we disagree with something. And there's a new strategy to it, sure. It's not the same as the game used to be. And while, yes, you may be able to tell whether a ball's inside or outside with a little more consistency, we've now just left it up to an automated system with somebody looking at it saying, let's make the strike zone about this big for this guy. And that's officially what ball and strike is, as opposed to the interpretation of the rule based on a stance, all the things that have been part of the game since the dawn of time. I'm irritated by it. I'm sad for it.
But you're getting more calls right.
Exactly.
So what are you mad about?
It's not always about getting it right.
If the Brewers, there was an instance in the postseason, if I recall, I don't remember the specifics, but there was a questionable ball strike call in a critical moment that would have been potentially corrected by this. And you, as a Brewers fan, And especially if it was, say, I don't know, against the Cubs and your arch rival, your nemesis, Craig Counsell, you would rather have this antiquated, romanticized interaction between umpire and manager or catcher or pitcher than have it be right?
Yes. When the NFL allowed pass interference to be reviewed in the interest of getting it right, it made the game worse. Correct?
I don't think balls and strikes are the same.
It's pretty much the same thing. It's an arbitrary call for an official to be entrusted that we then get to stop the game to review. And we all get to look up at the screen, and the little pink thing either lights up or doesn't. And that's now how we debate when we go like this.
It's not like it's like Tausch and tennis. And again, I didn't realize they were using essentially the same graphic system as we see in tennis. But you're right. I think you may be the only person on earth who thinks this is bad.
I see Jeff Passan on SportsCenter saying, look how great this was in Cincinnati the other night. And folks who have been out at the Brewers games over these first two series say, oh, this is so cool that now they get to tell what's a ball and what's a strike. And there's just, again, it's still an arbitrary strike zone. I don't know how they're determining where, okay, it's this for this guy. And, like, it can't move if he decides he's going to stand up a little bit more. It just feels like there's a key component of the game. It's not just about getting it right. It's about the sociology that goes into the game of baseball that we have now entirely lost. And it's just like when people are out at a bar and they see someone, and instead of going and talking to the girl you're interested in, you try to overhear what her name is so you can look her up on Instagram and then try and connect with her there instead of just going to talk to her. This is just impersonalization of sports and society. And now anytime there's a disagreement, you go and you tap your head. When I disagree with Tausch from now, I'm just going to pull myself up on the video screen. I'm just going to go like this.
Yeah,
and that's just going to, okay, let's review that. Oh, I don't know if that fact's right. Let's just take a look. Let's do this. Instead of actually talking about anything, instead of actually seeing the disagreement play out, tap the head. Let AI figure it out.
You could talk about it all you want. Nothing was going to happen, though. Like the ump rings you up. Nothing's going to happen when
he taps his head on you either.
But that's part of the game. It's manipulating the umpires. It's working your relationship with the umpires.
Your best argument is it's similar to pass interference? I would say no. Pass interference is total judgment. There isn't a box that you put it in and say, oh, yep, that's it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is the difference. Here, I think most people agree that the box is fair. If they don't, fix it. Mm-hmm. But there is a strike zone. And
it's not arbitrary.
Calls are missed. And it's in real time. They don't get to go back 3 pitches later and say, well, that second strike you called, but it has to be done in real time. And if it's not, and by the way, both the pitcher and the hitter get a chance to do it. So both sides get that. Offensively, defensive pass interference, I'm with you. I hope they never go back to that road. The NFL is slowly but surely putting in more replay that New York is going to officiate more and more stuff. I don't like it, but that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. In this, there is a concrete thing where tap it up and you get it immediate, it's done, and you move it along. I like it. I'm on board with it. I think it gives the players some responsibility. I'm not so opposed to if you get it wrong as a player, you're out for the game. That would be
for the game?
Yeah. I don't know if that'll happen, but
it's like the death penalty.
Disagree with that
baseball.
It's not a death penalty. It's you're done for the game.
You're dead for the day.
Because you only get 2 challenges, right?
Right, that's part of it, though, right?
Unless you keep winning, then you just keep. There were like 15 challenges in a game the other night.
Right, but if you're wrong twice, you're donezo.
Maybe that ump should be
you know
right
what I want to do? I want to go to American Family Field. I want to pay for parking. I want to pay for my ticket. I want to pay for nachos, pay for a Coors Light.
How long does it take?
Go sit down and watch everybody look at a big screen on the big Jumbotron.
First of all, I think people are enjoying the big screen on the Jumbotron from what I can gather.
I'll tell you what, tennis, it's become like the biggest part. People love the in and out calls in tennis.
Uh-huh. All right, we need to get to Homer. The reviews are in.
The phones are lighting up, but I can't answer them because we have Homer coming up.
Well, I wanted to get to this because I wanted to get Homer's take on it, but I can't believe how many people are getting after you. Like as some people spelling your name with just an I, by the way, which I think is
hopefully they put a heart over it.
That hurts. Disagree with that. Well, I'm not going to call him out on it. I'm just going to tap my head.
This may be the dumbest thing Jesse has ever said.
Review it.
Says Jamie from Orlando.
This is so stupid.
Replies Jacob, he says a lot of dumb things, so that's hard to say.
When Homer's on next segment, anything you disagree with him with, I don't want you to actually confront him about it. I don't want you to have a debate about it. Just tap your head, and then Jason will look it up.
I will just say this before we get to Homer and before Tausch does his next read. If Homer agrees with you, it will give me pause. Because while he says a lot of crazy things, he always means them. So we'll see if Homer is on Team Jesse here. All I know is we are all on Team American Family Insurance.
Indeed, we are. American Family Insurance has been a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. And playing in Green Bay for over a decade, I learned quick. When you've got the right protection up front, you play with confidence. And that's what American Family Insurance has been doing for almost 100 years, protecting your home, auto, and the dreams you're building for your family so you can focus on what matters most. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Homer joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
You've always been competitive at work, in the gym, even with your kids, but lately you feel off. Workouts take longer to recover from. Your drive just isn't there. You know, it might not be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Mentality, we'll get to the bottom of what's really going on and build a personalized plan using testosterone replacement and peptide therapies to help restore your energy, focus, and drive. Get back the energy to being dad again. Book your appointment with Mentality at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com.
Mark Tosher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Elevate your home field advantage by designing it around the way you actually live. Mike Wood here from Callan. What if your home perfectly fit your lifestyle? For 40 years, Callan has helped homeowners like you transform your living spaces from energy-efficient windows and doors to beautiful kitchens and spa-worthy bathrooms, featuring superior quality and craftsmanship you can see and feel for years to come. We start by listening and end with a home you truly love. Request your consultation today at callcallan.com and click the green button. Callan. Design, build, live.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
After taking the first two games, the Brewers were going for the opening weekend series sweep on Sunday against the White Sox. Trailing by 1 run in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 runners on, Christian Yelich did this.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Yelich, a high drive, deep right, down the line, fair, and
The Crew would go on to win 9-7 behind the 3-run go-ahead home run from Christian Yelich, completing the series sweep. Up next, the Tampa Bay Rays come to town for a 3-game set at American Family Field. I'm Will Summers.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Turn your dream kitchen into a reality with the IKEA Dream Kitchen event. Now through April 21st, IKEA family members save 10% when they spend $3,000 or more on section kitchen cabinets and eligible appliances and countertops. That's modern style, smart storage, and everyday functionality designed your way. Plus, section cabinets come with a 25-year limited warranty. Not sure where to start? IKEA's expert kitchen planners are here to guide you every step of the way. Your dream kitchen is closer than you think. So visit IKEA Oak Creek or IKEA.us today.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more? No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on Bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure right. You making love.
I apologize in advance to getting to him late on the Yuengling guest hotline. Yuengling, again, the oldest brewery in America and now officially in Wisconsin. Family owned and operated for 6 generations. DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. If Homer agrees with Jesse, I'm not going to eat my hats. I'm not going to walk naked around the Capitol, but it's going to force me to reevaluate. I can't imagine that someone who cares about accuracy as much as Steve the Homer True does is on Team Jesse on this. So, Homer, sorry for getting to you late, but Jesse has what some are describing as the worst take in history.
Oh, God, he's had worse than this.
I'm just saying what people are saying.
I'm not going to rank it against others. I just will address the particular take as it is or isn't.
Okay.
I didn't get it. I normally listen. I wasn't. I have a different Uber job today, so I got to be done before 11.
We'll have you out.
So, okay.
Jesse, go ahead. Tell Uncle Homer what your take was.
I dislike the ABS reviews in baseball, Homer. I think they are...
You can't be that stupid. You can't be that stupid.
No, just let him... Hey, Homer, let him keep talking. It actually gets worse.
No, you can't finish. That's like being against 2 and 2 is 4. I just can't believe people say this. No.
It's taking out
Go ahead.
Baseball has always, but you know this, you've covered the game as long as it's been around. Baseball has always been a game of sociology and the relationships among the players with each other.
Who the hell did you make this crap up?
It's true. I've played the game. I've umpired the game. I have not managed the game.
Sociology.
But I've
interacted
with plenty.
Come up with this crap.
That is.
Yes, I play basketball because 5 is the greatest number that ever existed. You go ahead. It keeps getting worse.
It's not about always getting the exact strike zone right. It's about.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Is it always? It's not always about having the score right. It's not always about having the right number of people on the field. It's not always right about a home run has to go over. Keep going. God, this is amazing. I got to admit.
You ever sit around and there's 2 different types of people. I said this in the last segment too. There's 2 different types of people. There's the type of people who I think really are like Tausch, where you could.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
I haven't even finished yet.
Why don't you compare the kind? There are 2 different kinds of cats. What the hell does that have to do with what we're talking about?
There are people who like to.
No, we have an issue. It's right or wrong.
There are people who like to figure things out and don't always just default to looking it up on their phones and using AI to figure out the first thing possible. And then there's people who will say, I'm just going to Google it. And it takes all the fun and all of the interaction and all of the personalization out of the experience. And that's what ABS has done.
Can I make a suggestion? You need help. I mean, I like to get it for you free, but I mean, like, I'm curious what a psychiatrist would say to your.
Here's Homer, if I may. Jesse is an ump at heart. Like, I think he was never. No offense, Jesse. He was never a good enough athlete to play. So he is.
If he's a giraffe at heart, he would think certain things.
So he's an ump, and he is always looking at things from an umpire's perspective. And old boy last night was embarrassed. Like, that was a brutally bad call. Hold up, and you can go. It was a brutally bad call. The dude was embarrassed. This is making umpires look bad. And the more head tapping that goes, the more the guys look bad.
I disagree.
Well, no,
I disagree.
I'm just telling you what Jesse. You asked how Jesse. I'm breaking Jesse down here. Sociologically and psychologically, he is only looking at this from a perspective of, I was an ump. I don't like it that they're making us look bad as a group. Go for it.
You're correct. Okay. Just the key is, this is not making umps look bad. This is making bad umps look bad. And they've all known who the bad umps were, and you know who the bad umps are. And they need to not be doing this anymore. And people need to say, great person. I mean, I think you're nicer than Mr. Rogers. But you can't ump. You're done. The key to anything is to get the bad people out. For some reason, I don't know why, umps support other bad umps. And this has done a great job at making it clear that the umps are really good. But some umps are really bad, and they need to be removed. Everybody knew who they were, and this is great because it's going to get rid of them. And the good umps should be happy about this, though they may not have to say so publicly.
If I may, let me tap the head. Tap the head because I want to review something. I'll be passive-aggressive about it. This is not pertaining to the out call at first base last night. There is a major difference between a very clear fair ball, foul ball, safe out, on the base, not on the base. Those are like saying, did the guy have 2 feet down in football? Did he have possession of the ball in football? Like, those are things that are very clearly defined. What ABS is doing is basically the equivalent in football would be if we have some arbitrary system that determines when it is or is not holding on every play. And every time Micah Parsons thinks there's holding, he can tap his head and somebody's going to go review to see if there was, by definition of the rule book, holding or not. That's what the strike zone ball and strikes is.
Arbitrary?
Because it is. A strike zone is arbitrary. It has to be over the plate, but there is no literal definition of where it begins and where it ends. This is how it's been trained for generations.
How much of the ball has to be on the line?
There actually is. It's in the rule book exactly where it starts and finishes.
You're an umpire. You should know that.
But it's all based on individual players and where their stance begins and ends and how they step into the box.
It isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Well, it's not anymore. They literally were saying last. I forgot if it was. I was watching the Yankees-Mariners game for a bit, and I had the Brewers game on, so I forgot which game it was. But they were saying they've literally changed the definition this year.
Is the Brewers game going to be on that channel all year? Or is
yes.
It just, Oh, okay. So we will get it if you have that certain.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, Brewers TV. They have changed the definition of the strike zone to no longer be where the ball crosses the plate. It's now where the ball is in the middle of the plate. And it's been an entire adjustment for the home plate umpire calling balls in strikes because it's different because of the sensor things.
Nice try. If you didn't notice that whenever a player disagrees with the call, they're almost 100% right. So they have clearly figured out what it is. The machine has figured out what it is, but some umps haven't. If the players had the same opinion that you've expressed about when it's picked or whatever it is, I would agree with you. Why do they always get it, and I mean 99% when they complain, get it right, if they had the same so-called problem that the umps do?
Yeah.
Which, of course, is made up, but you've tried to find some way to support them.
Well, it's sociology, really.
Yeah.
That's always been what's been great about the game of baseball is.
What is it? Just so I know here, because that's what all this is about. Has nothing to do with the issue. This is just learning about you. What has been great about the game of baseball?
I would argue the best value of a manager is not putting together a lineup or knowing when to go to the bullpen. It's
how to argue with them.
How to work the umpires. How to get
greatest.
See,
and that is number one on the list.
You've
Boy,
never
you're having
watched
a tough,
tennis.
That's a tough
because
segment.
one of the major parts of tennis used to be that they went to the machine, and now the game is a million times better because it's about the game, not about the crazy heads. Even, I mean, we don't have John McEnroe to see how he would have just, but
here's why you're wrong.
It's about the game.
Here's why you're wrong.
The game.
I am not a tennis fan. I do not watch tennis. I will occasionally turn on a major final if it's in like a fifth set.
So you haven't seen how it's worked, but others have.
Yeah, tennis has been the gold standard in replay.
What is the greatest moment in tennis history?
There's a bunch of them.
You're not going to
Federer,
say
Nadal.
you cannot be serious. That's not what you're going to say.
Federer and Nadal at Wimbledon. Djokovic and Nadal
McEnroe
at
is
the
the greatest
Aussie
moment
Open.
in tennis history, and it's because there was no replay.
It was when somebody figured out the sociological whatever something. If it's the same the way you view baseball.
There have been greater individual matchups and rivalries and all that stuff, but the greatest moment in tennis was McEnroe. It was on the line. That's no longer a thing, and I'd argue that's why tennis isn't as popular as it once was.
Jesse, no.
I believe Tausch is tapping his head.
There's, yeah.
Like I said,
no more
this
tennis
is
talk
all
from you.
about learning about you. And you keep going for. I mean, and I can't be surprised. I always wonder if someone tried to defend why 2 and 2 isn't 4, how the directions they would have to go. And you have proven that when you hold on to that, you got to go stronger and stronger. You have like plan B, C, D, E. You just keep going. I give you credit for that. Now I know.
No, you
if
don't
I
give
ever
him
decide
credit.
to say 2 and 2 isn't 4,
It's
I know the
completely-
direction I have to go.
No, it's completely insane.
Sociological is the key.
Yep, you gotta have the sociological.
Fighting it, the key, the greatest moment of tennis, I look it back, is when John McEnroe, when it was 15:30, he said, no, it's not 15:30, it's 15:62.
Seriously, or what is that? Whatever he yells. Yeah.
You cannot be serious.
Yes.
Greatest moment in tennis, I'm being told.
It
Homer,
is. Bye.
It
I
is
gotta
not.
go. I'm out of
you
time.
didn't. Yes, I know. I'm letting you go.
Historic.
Thank you.
This has been historic.
You did not
Historic.
disappoint.
Bye.
I am very glad that we got to this before we had Homer join us because, you know what I'm thinking? You cannot be serious. We need to get to the carbless talk and text line. The amount of texts I'm getting privately from not just Josh DiMaggio either, who is clearly in an uproar, but many others. And that can only be indicative of what the carbless talk and text line and the YouTube comments are indicating. So we will get to those coming up. I mean, I thought maybe there was an outside chance that Homer would support you. I could not have been more wrong. We can review that one. Clearly, a sociological thing. My goodness. There is no debate, though. You don't need to review it. Gruber Law Offices is the best in the business. They've got all kinds of awards, but more importantly, they've got all kinds of wins. Now, hopefully you never have to make the one call. That's all. But if you do, make sure you make it to Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. I can't wait to see what people are saying. The sociological experiment of people's responses to Jesse is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, home to your one-stop must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
All right, Wisconsin, Josh DiMaggio here, and you know it's tournament time, and Wanna Parlay is where players go to win. If you're building brackets and backing your picks, now you've got even more ways to cash in, and with brand new alternative lines on Wanna Parlay. More control, more strategy, bigger upside. And don't forget, the world's richest parlay is waiting. Download Wanna Parlay in the App Store today and use code JGC for a 100% deposit match for up to $250. Don't just watch it, play it with the world's richest parlay, Wanna Parlay.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination, with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do,
You can't beat Burkhardt.
153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Gorilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now, when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do,
You can't beat Burkhardt.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Now through April 5th, when you spend $50, you get 30% off, and you get 2 free pair of socks with the code SOCKS2. That's socks and the number 2. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Hey, y'all. It's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. I spent years on the mound giving everything I had, and now I feel every inning in my knees, back, and shoulders. But I didn't want surgery, and I sure didn't want to be sidelined. That's why I turned to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Christie and his team use regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No surgery, no meds, and no downtime.
Whether you're teeing off at the club or chasing the grandkids around, QC Kinetics helps you get back to doing what you love.
Call QC Kinetics now and schedule your free consultation. Natural joint pain relief with real results.
Don't let the pain slow you down. I didn't, and neither should you. My friends at QC Kinetics, they'll take care of you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
I just want to thank Jesse Nelson and tell him how much I appreciate how brave he is Thank you for your service. Thank you for your bravery.
I just want to make sure, Jesse, because you're a good team player, man. You're a good teammate.
He is.
You're not doing this for, like, engagement. You firmly believe what you're saying.
It's all sociological.
There was at least one text that said, "Is this an April Fool's joke?" No, our stance on April Fool's Day is well documented. I hate April Fool's Day. This is legit.
Did
you
I
believe
break
this?
I broke this
I
down.
will stand by this.
I broke this down correctly to Homer, right? You are an ump at heart. You admire umpiring. You respect it. You think they're appreciated. You do the read to make sure people get out to ump, and you try to get people to volunteer because there is a shortage because people are very tough on umps.
Wholeheartedly, which also
that plays into your bias.
I am not always going to err on the side of an umpire. Angel Hernandez.
You can admit last night's ump screwed it up big time.
Yeah,
He was a total butcher
and he's behind the plate today, and it could be a debacle. And this is a preemptive strike, knowing what's probably going to happen with the Brewers-Rays game this afternoon with the Miz
over under
pitching.
7 taps.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of taps today with him out doing the plate. But this is going to discourage more people who are already discouraged because of fan interaction from getting into officiating in the first place. There's going to be an even worse shortage.
There's your best
at
argument.
youth sports levels.
For sure.
Because
there won't be any taps.
Well, you don't get the head tap in Little League.
Timmy in fifth grade is going to start doing this because he doesn't want to confront the ump.
Cameras. Listen, I've had, as a coach, I've had a mother of one of the daughters come over and show me when they were called out for throwing a bat, that the kid didn't throw the bat.
Yeah, Timmy's dad is going to be over at third base with his
YouTube
phone
deal there. Yeah,
focused on third base, and every time there's a play at third, here, ump, you want to take a look? Review it. It's going to be the worst. I'm sure it already has impacted it. And now it's one thing if you're doing fair and foul down the line, over the wall or not over the wall. Like those, again, are very clear-cut things. When we're doing balls and strikes and it's slowing down the game and the bigger ovations now from the fans are for when something is overturned to be a strike instead of when Sal Frelick hits a home run in the third inning,
There's
that's
no
a problem.
way that people are cheering more for the ball strike
In
call.
Cincinnati, they did. In Cincinnati, they did.
It's new, so people are going to be excited about it. I can't comment on that because I haven't watched enough or been to a game yet.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get to your calls and your texts on the Carbless Talk and text line, 844-770-3776.
Your manager talk, though, that is so dumb. Like, that is the dumbest thing you said. And you said some dumb things there. But when you said the most important thing a manager is working an ump.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Not setting the lineup, not deciding when to pull a pitcher.
Or, like, who's playing. And, yeah, I mean, that was tough. That was tough.
It's a tough scene.
You got to gain a competitive advantage. Barry Alvarez taught me that.
Is working umps important? Certainly it is. Mm-hmm. Is it the top of the food chain, or is it the thing you enjoy most about watching your coach? I don't know about that. But I will say, if you're asking me about Earl Weaver, I'm going to tell you his reactions to being thrown out of games is what I remember about him. That is true.
That was his calling card. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Making the command decision now. If we have to delay and do double Wisconsin geography Thursday trivia, we will. But at one point, Jesse said, and I quote, "There's so many texts, I can't keep up with them all."
I mean, I've picked 4 kind of randomly, but there are...
Out of the cheese fry helmet.
I think we get like 15 on a page. It comes through on this website. There's like 15 on a page. I think I've got like 4 pages of them at least already.
That doesn't even include the YouTube comments, the private texts, and probably some people have called too, have they not?
Oh, yeah, we got a couple on hold here. Yeah, we'll get to those.
You're such a good sport. And again, I want to emphasize, this is Jesse's actual opinion. We don't do the fake outrage, rage bait, make stuff up that we don't actually believe on this program. We don't do that. That's not how we do this. Jesse believes this. So keep that in mind in your responses. I think my favorite so far is, are you sure this isn't an April Fool's joke? 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and text line. This is more. We'll get to your calls and texts after Tausch tells us about Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where we will be a week from today.
Indeed, we are hitting the road to one of our favorite places to go do a show, and Wilde and Tausch going to be live from Hard Rock Casino Rockford on Wednesday, April 8th. Jason, Jesse, and myself, we're all going to be on site from 9 to noon for the show, and it's Wednesday, so that means deals, especially if you're over 55. Come on down, grab a great lunch, and with over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment, who knows what we're going to get into at Hard Rock after the show. Can't forget about those diverse dining options, museum-worthy memorabilia, and sports books that I know Old Jell and I are going to dabble, especially with a little brewer stuff. Come see us for Wilde and Tausch on Wednesday, April 8th, down in Rockford, Illinois, right off of I-90, just an hour from Madison.
844-770-3776. Jesse, you're a good sport. Your take is ridiculous, but this is fun.
I have received at least 2 messages of support.
How's your mom doing?
My mom's not listening today.
Which is probably good for her.
Haven't heard from my dad, though, which is a little concerning. Or my fake dad, which either one, I don't know how they'd feel about this.
The 11 o'clock
your
hour.
Fake dad's going to think you're an idiot. I can
Yes,
almost
he is.
positively think that.
I do believe. We started in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When you work smart, incredible things can happen. By joining Smart 18, the union for Wisconsin sheet metal workers, you'll open the door to a brighter future. You'll learn and earn more. Enjoy awesome benefits across the board. Build a great career and feel empowered and supported every step of the way. The smartest career decision you'll ever make starts with Smart 18. Find out more today at smart18info.com.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Feels like the world is a little broken lately. Maybe all we need is a fix. Most spirits are acidic. Fix Vodka is different. Fix Vodka is the world's first high-alkaline, acid-free vodka. Handcrafted with natural spring water and select grain. Clean, smooth, done right. Better water, better vodka. Get your local fix.
Fix Vodka.
Enjoy responsibly.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The Jesse Nelson Hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Jesse, what do you want to do first? Do you want to read the 2 text messages you've gotten of support? Do you want to get the calls? How would you like to approach the hole that you continue to dig with your shovel?
Boomer and Athelstein, my guy. Met him at the meat raffle a couple of weeks ago.
Where is Athelstein?
Near Crivets. That's actually really close to where our
Whitewater
spot
country, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like
What do you mean,
whitewater
sure?
rafting?
Yeah, there's the great whitewater rafting up in Crivets,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. More or less.
Sure. Yeah.
I agree with Jesse 100% on baseball. Leave the game as it was supposed to be. Boomer and Applestein. Now,
posing for a photo with him influenced his opinion just like you being an umpire has influenced yours?
Well, okay, now here's the thing. So this is my guy Boomer. I'm at Lakeside Bar and Grill up north. Appreciate that. I'm not saying leave the game as it has always been. Like, obviously there have been improvements to the game. The pitch clock has been an improvement to the game.
How do you want to do the challenges?
I don't want balls and strikes reviewed. I want umpires calling balls and strikes.
At all!
Yeah. I don't like when they put the graphic on TV. I don't like when they tell you where it's inside or outside.
How about safe or out at first?
Yeah, that's fine.
You're okay with that?
Yeah. Safe or out. Ball beats foot, foot beats ball, ball and glove, fair foul, over the fence, not over the fence. All that stuff is fair game. Balls and strikes is where I draw the line. Leave that alone. And it's too late, and it's never going back now because this has already been deemed a success by apparently everybody but me and Boomer and Wade Bates of ESPN Beaver Dam in 5 days. Where this is going to be
fairness,
great.
You got a hell of a crew there. You, Batesy, and Boomer. That's not a bad little triumvirate to keep together.
Here's one from Ian in East Troy. Sorry for speeding, officer. It's really not about what the speed limit is. It's about how much fun I had going fast.
Not bad.
Ian, that's not what this is.
It's about the sociological interaction between him and the officer.
Now, what if you were never allowed to state your case to an officer when you're speeding? I don't think this is a fair comparison, but if we're going to go down this road, okay, officer pulls you over. You got a pregnant wife that you're trying to take to the hospital. Officer pulls you over. You're not going to be able to talk your way out. Nope, just is or isn't, black or white. Automatic system says you were speeding. Here's your ticket. Get out of here.
Well done. Nicely done.
All right, Jesse, let's get to
wouldn't the pregnant wife be to tap her head and say, and then show her belly? And then
she's going to tap her head. Oh, yeah, let's review it. And then they go.
Maybe she taps the belly.
Taps the belly. Yep.
All right. Jesse, first of all, the first call is from Levi in Stevens Point. He's
on your team.
He is always pro Jesse, except when he steals your mouse.
He's kind of been not on my team ever since I did accuse him of potentially stealing my mouse, which I have not returned back from Stevens Point. So,
and you have not rescinded that allegation either.
I mean, I haven't been proven wrong.
Jesse's so excited when he takes pictures with fans, by the way.
You like being a big star, don't you?
His smile is enormous. His mouth's kind of open a little bit. He's so happy.
Levi was at my wedding, unlike you. Like, it's great to run into people you haven't seen in a while when I'm out doing
provide him with that opportunity. Yeah. All right, let's see. Is Levi Team Jesse? Levi, good morning. Welcome to Wildy and Tausch. Here's your chance to support your boy.
Well, good morning, guys. And Tausch, what's up, my man?
How are you, Levi? You got to be You got to be against Jesse here, right?
Well, you guys know I appreciate Jesse as a brother from another mother. You know that saying goes, but this time
Jesse's actually looking for a brother. That's perfect.
Yeah, I have to disagree with my boy on this one with all due respect.
He said with all due respect.
Oh, then it's okay.
He's fine.
Then it's okay. Yeah.
I still appreciate it, but I've been looking up on the internet since this debate for the last 45 minutes that, according to Major League Baseball on their Twitter, they said the total challenges for the last 5 days have overturn rate 54% on 175 attempts, which is a little bit better, but I'm saying that the replay challenge for the ABS system is a little bit faster than the NFL challenge. I don't know.
It is
much faster.
It is
much more efficient.
Now, let's tap our head on that because Tausch said 99% of the challenges have been overturned earlier. That's not true.
I don't remember him saying that.
I said
you said 90-something% earlier.
Okay.
Call in ABS. Let's go look back at it.
I think ABS, I think of the old Bull. You guys know the old Bull, or they used to sell, you know what I'm talking about. Levi knows what I'm talking about. ABS. All right, continue.
Sure. I'm going to try to continue, but I can't stop laughing about that segment earlier. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm done
But it was
with
hilarious.
Levi, you're not helping me.
We're here. Jesse's ejecting you. As the umpire.
Throwing you
He's
out,
mad.
Levi.
You could tap your head as you're walking off the field.
But what an
Jesse
interesting social interaction we just had, huh? Wouldn't you say that was entertaining?
Yeah, well, nobody's throwing Levi. I mean, I don't know. All right, what's next?
Interestingly, I'm looking at the ABS challenge rates from ESPN. They've got it all broken down. The Miami Marlins have a 0% success rate for their batters, and the Dodgers have a 100% success rate. So there is a difference.
Oh my
apparently.
God, the Dodgers are good at everything.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Jesse, there's no way I can read this small of font.
Ray in Oak Creek is making it personal. Jesse is dead wrong, and he spelled it with an IE. This is classic from his generation. They do not like accountability. Forever, the umps could subjectively decide the strike zone. If the ump disliked a player or coach, he could punish a team. This holds umps accountable and gets the calls right. This is great for baseball. Ray in Oak Creek.
I agree with Ray.
I think he's got my generation confused with the one under me.
I'm going to say this. There was, and it was, I think, Joe West. Who was the ump that called the outside pitch? Like it was
Joe
off.
West, Angel Hernandez had a bad reputation.
You shouldn't, as a player, have to say, well, old boy calls an outside strike that's off the plate 3 inches. Like there's obviously a margin here where it's debatable, and I don't think umps should be punished if they ring a guy up and the ball is just a sliver off of that box. That's different than missing by 2 inches, because it's hard to hit a baseball. Ray is right. And we could say this in the NFL too. We want some accountability. There's no press conference after. They don't have to have the same critique. They're asking in the NFL. They're asking for big raises. There's a lot of things in play here. I like Ray's text here. I think there's a lot of truths in what he's saying. The generation thing, I get confused on that too. I don't know what Gen X, Gen Z, that I don't know. Do I think that there needs to be more accountability? Yes.
844-770-3776. Jesse, have you found any callers that are here to support you? Or would you like to get to another text that pseudo supports you?
I can't find another text that pseudo supports me, so why don't we try a call, because I don't know what they're going to say.
Okay, 844-770-3776. Let's go to Phil in Cedarburg. Phil, good morning. Welcome to the Roast of Jesse Nelson and the ABS replay system.
Thank you, gentlemen. I can't support Jesse, but I'm going to try to understand him.
Oh, good luck.
How old is Jesse?
34 years old, Phil.
Gen Z, right?
No, millennial.
Oh, millennial.
Okay, so you kind of grew up, I got a daughter in her mid-20s, so you're a little bit older, but she was telling me, like, how crazy the world is. We don't understand what it's like growing up with all this social media nonsense, surveillance this, surveillance that. See, we're older, so we had the world where, at least I'm older.
I'm with you. As you know, Phil, I'm a member of the AARP, as Tausch has pointed out.
Phil can come down to the Hard Rock next Wednesday and get half off lunch.
Exactly.
Yeah, senior discount. Yeah, baby. But I get it. This world makes you sad because it just feels like it's all electronic. It's all computerized. Everyone's staring at their phone. Like nothing's real anymore. Drones are fighting wars. It's just. I get it. I get where he's coming from. Like the world like that, at some point, if you grow up in that world, you yearn for like human contact and human. And we grew up in a world where we had a lot of human contact, so we appreciate
and arguing with an umpire,
to get things right. But it's that piled on everything else. That's what it is. I understand, Jesse. I get you, Jesse. You're wrong about this, but I understand where you're coming from.
What a great call.
But I'm glad we had the sociological experience where we got to discuss this, Phil, as opposed to just saying you're wrong.
Did you take some sociology classes? Is that where this is coming from?
In college, yeah.
You're as predictable as pudding.
I understand where Jesse's coming from. He's wrong, but I understand him.
I don't know. I want you to explain, and it was a good point on wanting more personal interaction because I think society is going down a very slippery road in having less and less. Mm-hmm. Explain to me how this one ump and one manager is going to make some difference in the community of more personal interaction, because that's really what this comes down to. You want to see people yell at each other and fans get all up in arms. Fans are more up in arms about watching this and saying in a unified way, they got it right, they got it wrong. So that part of it doesn't make any sense. You really think that interaction with Craig Counsell and an ump, or you just believe that that's going to be the case? I don't get because the point is good, but it doesn't make any sense because it's not really what it doesn't apply. Exactly.
Right. Like, Jesse, and again, I want to get to more feedback because this is really fun for me. What I don't get is
I'd like to make bingo at the baseball park. That could be fun.
No, they do that, and it's all on your phones. And this is
no. You got to bring, and it's like, you're sitting next to a ground ball to the third baseman, bink, and then you win like a 50-50 raffle.
Yes, they have this.
That's fun.
It exists on the
That's
ballpark
community.
app. Is it, though? Because it's today's community, which is everybody's got their head in their phone at the game.
I want you buying a card.
Watch the game this afternoon on Brewers TV. Every time they come back from commercial. When they used to come back from commercial, everybody would be holding up signs and having fun and watching what's going on. Now everybody's just looking down at their phones the whole time, every time.
These are two different issues that are not connected, and you can be right about human interaction and sociology and be wrong on whether or not you're getting the call right or wrong. I just can't believe that someone who is such a devoted Brewers fan, whose father was an usher, in case you haven't heard, at previously known as Miller Park, now AmFam Field, who I have the video of you celebrating a home run out in the bleachers. I don't remember which game it was. Was it Prince Fielder that hit it?
Tier 1 Dave had the home run ball.
But here's the thing: the Brewers could be in a Game 7 of a series, and you're suggesting then this is the reality of your position, Jesse, is that Sal Frelick can be at the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs, with a chance to win the game with a base hit. And if they get the pitch wrong and he gets called out on strikes and the Brewers don't go to the World Series, your argument is you're okay with that because that's the human element of baseball. And that's the difference between the team you love getting to its first World Series since I was 10 years old and not. Like, there's no way you can believe that.
Do all Saints fans want pass interference to still be reviewed today? Because that's the same thing.
Right, but what you're arguing right now is something that is working. And look, there's plenty, as Levi pointed out, I just looked up the same stat. He's right. Like 54% means that there are some people that are tapping their heads that aren't very good at it. So
it's almost 50%. Yeah.
It's not all these, right, thank you. All these umpires are not always wrong. But again, like, if you wanted to say, I think there should be a limit on them during the regular season, and then in the playoffs, it's different. Like the NFL has some different rules for the playoffs. I can at least hear you out on that. But your argument is basically saying that if the Brewers lose a game in the playoffs on a questionable ball strike call, you're just going to say, hey, that's the way the ball bounces. And I just can't imagine feeling that way if you feel as strongly as you do about that team.
They really have Brewers bingo? Like, I love that idea. I think it's fantastic. So you go to the park, and it's all on an app.
It's on the MLB ballpark app where your ticket is. I think it would be really fun. When do people usually win? Like, when is the bingo I don't know. I've never won. My friend John plays it every game he goes to. He's got season tickets.
So it's like ground ball out to third base, and you click.
Yeah, like a 5-3 putout or...
That's such a fun idea. Has that been going on for a while?
They used to do it on like Kids and Seniors Day. They did a physical card, but I think since they went to the ballpark app for ticketing a couple of years ago, they started doing it.
We need to go back to that's a fun thing. That's community. Not Earl Weaver yelling at Joe West. You sit next to some random person and saying, "Did you just get that free spot? I'm close to bingo." That's what's community. Not arguing with an ump. Jesse, start highlighting the positives, and let's get Brewers bingo rolling.
We'll get to more of your responses to Jesse's hypothesis coming up. I'm going to tell you, it's not bingo with the Bucks; it's behind the Bucks.
It's bango. Am I right?
Yeah,
nice.
Well played. Nicely done. On the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. The Bucks Take on the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is available right now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and the ESPN Wisconsin app, plus wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher. More of your responses to Jesse's sociological experiment next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Cardless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Cardless talk and text line. This is more.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
From office lunches to family celebrations, Cousin Subs has the crowd-pleasing catering you need. Choose from customizable party boxes, individual box lunches, fresh-baked cookies, and our classic party chips. Everything you need to satisfy any size group, big or small. Ordering is easy online or on the Cousins app, so you can focus on the fun, not the food. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Make your next meal Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Right now, get a crispy chicken sandwich, regular or pepper jacked, for just $3.99. Feeding the crew? Grab an 8-piece bone-in fried chicken for only $9.99. And don't forget to dip it in Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken sauce. Short on time? Order ahead with the Quick Rewards app and make it fast. Stop in today for your No Ordinary Chicken. Crunch outside, tender inside. Only at Quick Trip.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Sissy, which approach do you like better? Wemby breaking it down or Shea saying he's just going to let his game do the talking?
I like Wemby advocating for himself.
Me too.
Because I think he put everybody on notice. That is basketball fans, but then also media, and in particular, MVP voters. No longer are you going to be allowed to skate voting for the guys that have the best offensive numbers, the best metrics, the best analytics, so on and so forth. You're going to have to actually lock in and watch the games and watch the impact that Victor Wembanyama is having. Because before, when you had a guy this size, this stature, there was ways that teams could get them off the court with lineups or with their style of play. But Wemby is so versatile that there's really nothing you can do to take him off the court. Mm-hmm. Other than this guy getting winded, there's nothing you can do to get him out of the game.
Harry Douglas here. Let me ask you something. What if you can enjoy the taste of a cocktail, the warmth of a spirit, and still stay fully in control? That's RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category. RK delivers bold flavor and a real warming sensation with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and 0 calories. Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
At Associated Bank, we get life gets complicated. So banking, it should be easy to get. That's why our tools speak your language. Automated savings, it's saving automatically for anything. Digital controls, you lose your card, you're still in control. Turn it off, then on, all on the app. And Money Monitor, you know where your money goes, like those long forgotten subscriptions. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Let's get back to the phones. You know that you've gotten Josh DiMaggio fired up when I haven't checked the Wilde and Tausch Village text chain, and I have 56 alerts from him.
Yeah, that's a lot. Hey, Jesse, I just got a text. You're not going to, save face at some point and go back and say, oh, April Fool's. This is...
No,
I just want to confirm
he had his
again.
chance.
No.
Yeah.
Did you guys not think this, watching opening day and, every inning, tap, tap, tap?
I didn't think it was as obtrusive as other replays I've endured. No, I didn't. I thought it was pretty
happens
expedited.
in 10 seconds.
Yeah. And I'm gonna. Tausch is right. I like the tennis style graphic. I'm a total sucker for it. Every time it's on, I'm like, oh, that's neat.
Community build.
Oh, great. I get to watch baseball. They're putting the pink box up again, and I get to see if it lights up or not.
Will the bingo card have a call overturned, ABS in the first inning? Will that be part of the bingo?
I haven't been to a game yet this year. I can't say with any certainty, but when I go to a game, hopefully a little bit later this month when they're back at home, I will give you a full report back on baseball
I'm fine
bingo.
in this bingo. I am all in on this bingo.
We could go and play together. How about
that'd be
that?
fun.
Yeah.
We could do it right before the Annex Wealth Management trivia.
Let's get to another call. Now, Mike the Wedding DJ is Team Jesse on a lot of things, right? I mean, you guys
Jesse only took him out to
fantasy
lunch,
football
not dinner, though. So I don't know how that plays.
He's a Dolphins fan. He's very excited about Sully. And
he is really bad at fantasy football based on our Wilde and Tausch League results.
You need all the help you can get. I don't know if insulting people is the way you want to go.
Hey, I'm ABS. I'm just telling you the facts.
Mike, good morning. Are you here to support your old friend Jesse?
All right, first of all, I want to clarify. Jesse is correct. I did very poorly in the ESPN league, but in the $100 league I was in, I won. And that league includes the Dean, Dennis Semrau, who is a fantasy football veteran.
Yeah, he's legendary. Yeah, he's one of the GOATs.
Yes.
Yep, you're right.
I won that league, and I beat Dennis in the playoff semifinals to knock him out. Okay, so hi to my friend Dennis, who I hope is listening. Second of all, baseball bingo, you don't have to go to the park, Tausch. You can play it on the MLB app every day, and you can play it on every game going on. You don't even have to be watching the game. You can play it.
Yeah, but I want to watch the game. That's the whole fun of it. Bingo is not meant to be a virtual game. Bingo is in person.
You are correct, but I play it while watching the Brewer games.
Okay.
So you don't have to be attending, Tausch.
Right.
You can watch the game on TV on whatever channel it is.
I will only play when I'm at the game because I want the community that Jesse's talking about. I want to be able to sit there next to Phyllis and say, Phyllis, I just got first inning base hit, and et cetera, et cetera. All right, continue on, Mike.
And that makes sense, Tausch. Yes, I certainly understand. Okay. I umpired for several years in the Madison area for the Memorial, Monona, Wanakee, doing freshman, JV, and varsity games. So I come at this from the same viewpoint Jesse does, and I understand his line of thinking. But I don't agree with Jesse for this reason, and it's for the reason that Homer gave. You want to get the call right, and nothing infuriates me more as a former umpire watching a horrible umpire I about lost it and broke my TV when C.B. Buckner made that horrible call. It doesn't have to do with ABS, but that horrible call last night. C.B. Buckner had the most calls wrong in his first game this season behind the plate. I think he had 6 calls overturned. Watch the game today if you can, not only for the Miz, but to see how many times C.B. Buckner gets the calls wrong. We shouldn't be watching games because of that, but it's added a new entertainment element. But like Homer said, the bad umpires need to be exposed, and they need to be fired. C.B. Buckner has been one of the worst umpires and is known as the worst umpire since Angel Hernandez finally left the game, who was clearly the worst umpire I'd ever seen in my life, and I'm sure Jesse would agree and you guys would agree. The other point I want to make up, Jason, your example of Sal Frelick in Game 7 of a game to go to the World Series is excellent. One thing you have not pointed out that's very important in the ABS system is you only get 2 challenges.
Yep.
What if you got to that point of the game, Jason, and the Brewers are out of challenges, Frelick gets rung up on a ball 3 inches outside, and we don't go to the World Series because we've blown that challenge. It brings another element of strategy to the game.
Yeah.
If you've listened to the broadcast, Murphy has told his guys, the batters, do not challenge for the most part, especially early in the game. He needs at least 1 challenge in the 8th and 9th inning. You've got to save that challenge. It's like saving your instant replay challenge in football. It's brought a whole new dimension and strategy, which I love, to the game. You've got to think about that. If you blow if I'm watching a baseball game and my opponent has blown both of their challenges, I feel much better because I know then we're going to win every bad strike call against the opposing team. That's not the way it should be, but that's the way it is now. So this is our new reality, as Tausch says. We're not going back, and I love this system. It's quick. You actually know it beforehand because at least the box on the Brewer games, I've known how they're going to call every one before the replay because the box shows you.
Mm-hmm.
And when they go to the replays last night, there was one that was 1/10 of an inch outside. That was a ball. That's how close a lot of these are. I mean, it's amazing.
Your point.
I love this.
Yeah, your point, Mike, and thanks for the call, and thanks for not supporting Jesse. The point about the strategy and saving them for the critical moments is also a good one, because I think Jesse has emphasized, well, you keep getting them right. You just get to keep them all. Keep it going. Yeah, but you get 2 wrong, and you're donezo, and you're going to wish you had that available to you later in the game. So, look, I'm having a blast with this, but I think that point, Tausch, and you're all about strategy and making things better. Like, I think it's important to recognize that you have to make sure you have them for the most critical moments in the game. So it's not like it's just a free-for-all.
There is strategy, and I think everybody loves, especially in the media world and everything else, you love to be able to analyze that and then to decipher whether you made the right move. But the reason this is so absurd is it's not taking up a ton of time, and there is clarity. Pass interference, there's not. It's subjective.
Agreed.
Jesse could sit here and tell me that the strike zone's not, but Homer brought up a great point. The players know. The pitchers know. And, yes, there's going to be some close calls. I don't know how it works. If it's on the are there any that the call will go to the umpire if it's right on if the ball's in the middle of the line?
No, if it's touching, it's in.
If it touches the line, it's in. Everybody knows that, so the hitter will deal with it. They can be disappointed or upset about it, but the standard is set. Pass interference, that's never going to be the case. It's too subjective. You are going to see the NFL implement more and more of this stuff. You're already seeing it with expedited review. That's all this is. It's making the game better because all anyone ever says, coaches, players, I just want consistency. This is going to bring more consistency to a strike zone than Jesse hoping and saying, well, there's human error. We are becoming more robotic as a society. That's where we're headed. Deal with it or get away from it.
All right, I want to get to a couple of texts before we run out of show because I think Jesse flashed what may have been the greatest text message in show history. From Grant and Madison. maybe after this take, it's time for us to have a conversation about Jesse's hair tie.
No, that's good. That's pretty good.
Why
More
is there
texts.
always one baseball conversation we have every year that's going to be like carrying the entire season of just ridiculous? Oh, they got swept by the Athletics. They're done. Proceed to win the division. Oh, Pat Murphy. Do we need to have a conversation? Best team in baseball.
This is it.
This is it for this year.
ABS sucks. It's bad for people's skills. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait. This offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and you can take action locally. Join La Causa on April 13th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Blue Tender, a special fundraising event at Blue at the Pfister, supporting La Causa's Crisis Nursery, southeastern Wisconsin's only shelter providing emergency care for children in crisis. Enjoy a night out while giving back, with 100% of tips and 10% of bar sales donated, and all proceeds matched. Make your impact go twice as far. Visit lacausa.org for details.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at discount liquor.
Easter's almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Easter dinner can turn a meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Check out all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com. Happy Easter.
Discount Liquor.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The Jesse Nelson Show rolls on. In case you were looking forward, and I know you were because we all enjoy this on Wednesdays, to Wilde and Tausch Wisconsin Geography Wednesday Trivia, presented by Iron Jock, which gave away a hoodie earlier today when we were talking to Bryan Bulaga, and of course by Cousin Subs, which we had lots of Cousin Subs last week when Tausch was on assignment. We will do double Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs tomorrow. I'll even save Jesse's questions from today so he doesn't have to do double the work again. So we will get to that. But I do want to get to a few more text messages before we run out of show, because this has been a lovely surprise. And quite frankly, has even surpassed my hopes and expectations, especially that last text message.
I mean, I'm trying to find it. The strikeout box is suggestive from Sam in Madison.
Suggestive?
Yes.
Like wearing a low-cut dress?
The box is usually from the batter's knee to the team name on the chest. All batters are different heights and stances.
Yeah, nobody calls
which make
the
it
letters
suggestive.
either.
No, nobody does. It goes to about the waistline, unless you're doing Little League. Little League, then you go up to about the chest, maybe the belly button. But again, you don't know exactly where that is. So everybody, it's based on the stance.
I hate tight strike zones in Little League, too. I think it's absurd. Go ahead.
Someone in the YouTube comments said that they and again, that is not the bastion of fact-checked information, but I don't know anything about this because I've seen anecdotal evidence watching games as I'm flipping through channels or watching the Brewers games on the Brewers channel on my cable. Someone suggested that they measured this, like they take video of the player.
They actually had to get the accurate heights of guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I have heard that.
So there is the suggestive or subjective notwithstanding, there is some science in this to make sure that they are adjusting it for every player.
Brian Anderson said on the Yankees-Mariners game last night that some players saw their heights decrease this offseason. It was the return of the short kings in baseball, as he said it last night. Because
isn't our guy Jet like 5'6"?
I don't actually know. I'm not sure how tall he is. Here's one from Nick in Wanakee. This goes back to what Tausch said at the start of this whole thing. Regarding balls and strikes, baseball needs to develop a severe penalty if the challenging party is wrong. We need to de-incentivize or disincentive challenges for balls that are a tenth of an inch off the plate.
Yeah, I am more than happy with that. I know that's very penal to throw a guy out of the game if they get the challenge wrong. I understand that.
The death penalty.
But I like it because I don't want it to be Tap City USA either. I know there's you only get 2 of them. But I would think that's something I get on board with.
You only get 2 of them, but you get to keep going if you get 15 of them, so be it.
Okay, but so, again, we've been inundated. This is really, I will say this, we would have been better off
Who says we don't talk Brewers?
We would have been better off letting Josh DiMaggio speak on the show than the number of text messages that I have received from him. But he pointed out there was a game with our guy CB calling balls and strikes where he missed 26 calls, and the Red Sox used up their challenges and didn't have them available to them at a critical point in the game. That's punitive there, right? Like, you could put yourself, to Jesse's point and Mike, the wedding DJ, following up, like, if you do this excessively and get it wrong, then you're not going to have it when you really need it, when the game is on the line later, potentially. So I do think being ejected from the game like you committed targeting, well, college football, by the way, is moving away from that. Is that right? Or at least missing the next game or whatever?
Yeah, I do believe.
Tausch wants you booted for getting... Not only are you out... but you're out of the game, and you're actually required to drive home afterward, even if it's a road game.
I have one last text I'd like to do as the final one. I think this is the text of the day. Clem in Brownsville. I want to bring ABS into my marriage. Wife says I didn't do something. I just tapped my head instead of defending myself.
Read the rest. Yeah.
Bad take, Jelly, in all caps.
Okay. Tausch, how do you feel about where we've landed here?
I think this is exactly what we thought was going to happen.
I think it's even better than what I thought was going to happen, frankly.
I think Jesse is beaten.
I honestly thought I would have more support.
Of course you did. You get great support and great customer service, and you get Bucky on your card at UW Credit.
Indeed, and for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And, of course, we love talking about that app because it's fantastic. I met the guy that invented it. UW Credit Union's mobile app offers a simple way to check accounts, making transfers, and more. It's a smart play from the pocket. Be like us. Join UW Credit Union today at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Jesse, thank you for your service.
I feel like Will Smith and iRobot. Like everybody else. Just
I thought you felt like Chris Rock. After Will Smith saw him at the Emmys.
I feel like Chris Rock after he did that show at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Nobody likes the deal better than I do, and I gotta tell you, Sendix has a great deal going right now as part of their 100-year anniversary. This week, Sendix is featuring wild-caught walleye fillet portions for just $7.99 per pound. And I love walleye. And what I love even more is this is the lowest price walleye is going to be all year. If you're looking for a quick but delicious meal alternative, then walleye fillet are perfect. There are so many ways to prepare walleye. Of course, breading and frying walleye is hard to beat, but it's also delicious baked with a Parmesan cheese crust or even lightly seasoned and cooked in your air fryer. So healthy, and now you can stock up and freeze it for later. Best part of all, at $7.99 per pound, Sendix has the lowest price you're going to see on walleye fillets all year. So why not buy more than one package and freeze it for an easy Friday fish fry or an easy dinner later this spring? Man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
This is Coach Greg Gard. Strong teams succeed with the right partners. Bank CMG works closely with Wisconsin business owners, offering local insight, modern tools, and honest guidance you can trust. They take the time to understand your goals and help you build something sustainable. Whether you're managing cash flow, planning for growth, or navigating change, having the right banking partner matters. When your business matters, your bank should too. BankCMG.com.
Porch season is calling, and Carbless has the answer. Introducing the new limited release lemon iced tea vodka 4-pack. It's the bright, refreshing taste of lemon iced tea with smooth vodka, no carbonation, and the bold Carbless flavor that you know and love. A little nostalgic, a little unexpected, and absolutely made for summer. From backyard barbecues to weekends at the lake, this is the can that you'll want in hand. Get the new Carbless lemon iced tea vodka 4-pack before it's gone. Go to drinkcarbless.com to find Carbless brand new flavor near you and grab it while you can.
Let's talk about Home Turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Heading to Milwaukee's east side? Make Veer North your first stop. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Alex Strove. Here to tell you at Veer North you can catch the big game, hop on a shuttle to the stadium, or hang out for live music all summer long. Elevated food, craft drinks, and a packed event lineup. Veer North knows how to keep the energy going as the weather starts to warm up. Close to Fiserv Forum, Summerfest, and UWM. It's the perfect place to pregame, postgame, or just stay for the whole thing. Veer North, right where Milwaukee comes together.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Customizable.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket.